Live from Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater Township, Baycats TV presents the Inter-County Baseball League. And tonight it's the Welland Jackfish making their first visit of 2025 to take on the hometown Barrie Baycats. Hi again, everybody, and welcome. With Madison Gale and Julius Hern, I'm Ben Davy. These teams met last month at Welland Stadium, a 9-3 Jackfish win. Welland has not lost since, and a big reason for their 6-0 start, Julius, has been their hot-hitting catcher.
Robert Mullen has been insane this year. IBL Player of the Week last week. He is slugging over 1,000. Think about that. He's getting over one base per at-bat. That's just unheard of. He's a big reason why this Welland offense has been clicking on all cylinders.
Really staggering for sure. As for the Barrie side, they've started to heat up as of late after their offense looked very anemic through their first 3 games. But several players have really taken their game to the next level. Among them, their newcomer second baseman, Francisco Hernandez.
Yeah, he started up in the top of the order at the start of the year, but he's kind of moved down to the 9 spot ever since, and that's kind of really given him new life. He had a double and 2 home runs in the game against Kitchener. A big reason why the Baycats kind of have the monkey off their back offensively.
All right, let's get it started. It's the Jackfish and the Baycats. Over now to our public address announcer, Rob Daniels.
Kulture Stadium for season number 24 of Barrie Baycats Baseball. Tonight's Inter-County Baseball League game features the visiting Welland Jackfish and your Barrie Baycats. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Welland Jackfish, managed by Brian Essery. Batting first at shortstop, number 4, Jonah Weisner. Batting second in center field, number 11, Gio Morello. Batting third at third base, number 13, Jake Sanford. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 23, Robert Mullen. Batting fifth in left field, number 10, Mateo Porcelato. Batting sixth in right field, number 21, Brandon Houpe. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 24, Grayson Barrett. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 20, Brandon Luther. And batting ninth, the designated hitter, number 34, Joshua Marchese. On the mound tonight for the Jackfish, number 22, Teodoro Ortega. And now, the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Matlow. Batting first, playing center field, number 95, Noel McGarry Doyle. Batting second, the shortstop, number 11, Brandon Hernandez. Batting third at first base, number 20, Nolan Macabroda. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio. Batting fifth in right field, number 4, Willie Garcia. Batting sixth in left field, number 6, Tristan Clark. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 26, Adam Odd. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 14, Lelise Beltran. And batting ninth at second base, number 0, Francisco Hernandez. On the mound tonight for your Barrie Baycats, number 39, Cesar Rosado. Here are the umpires for this evening's contest. Calling the balls and strikes, we have Jared Markley. Handling first base is Scott Costello. And at third base is Keith Corville. Fans, at this time, we ask you to please rise if you are able to and kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us common. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was alternative indie recording and performing artist Mike Haggith. And Mike Haggith resides in Barrie and is extremely excited to be back here tonight for this evening's ball game. Thank you so much, Mike Haggith, for the anthem. Okay, now it's first pitch. Hey fans, Winmar Barrie is proud to bring you the Stuffy Rescue Program, collecting gently used stuffed animals to bring comfort along with hope and a smile to children and individuals who have faced trauma or mental health challenges. Thank you so much to the incredible support of our community here in Simcoe region. We've already donated thousands of stuffies through local services, and now it's your turn to help out if you're able to. If you have a stuffy you'd like to pass on, visit the Winmar tent located on the first base side and drop it in the donation box. Every donation will help make a difference. Now, with that said, let's give a very warm welcome to Winmar Willie, who will throw out the first of two ceremonial first pitches tonight. Winmar Willie, it's your pitch. And it's now time for our second ceremonial first pitch. With that, welcome back Temmie D to the ballpark here this evening. Temmie D. Temmie, it's your pitch.
And we are ready for baseball here at Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater Township. Definitely a marquee matchup, one that will certainly have been circled on the calendars of fans from around the IBL, the defending IBL champion Barrie Baycats against the undefeated 6-0 Welland Jackfish.
Yeah, this is you said it right there, Ben, the marquee matchup of the week in the IBL, and I'm very excited to see how an offense that's really coming together with the Barrie Baycats is going to face an offense that has really been clicking so well through the first 6 games of the Welland Jackfish.
Welland starting lineup brought to you by Sports Medicine, the official clinic of the Barrie Baycats. Leadoff man Jonah Weisner, shortstop Gio Morello in center field, batting second Jake Sanford in the 3 spot. At third base, Robert Mullen, who we mentioned in our intro, the catcher and cleanup hitter. Mateo Porcelato makes his 2025 debut in left. It's Brandon Hupe in right field batting 6th. And 7-8-9 is Grayson Barrett at first, Brandon Luther at second, and Josh Marchese, the designated hitter.
And on the mound for the Barrie Baycats, making his second start of the season, is Cesar Rosado. Got the win in his last start, a 13-3 W against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Just 5 innings, though, allowed 2 earned runs on 4 hits. Only 3 strikeouts for a guy that comes into this season the defending IBL strikeout leader with 105. But it seems like now his arm's a bit more stretched out. You can expect him to definitely go a little bit longer than 5 innings should he not have much struggles throughout the rest of this game.
A lot of people expected a possible Barrie-Welland rematch in the 2025 IBL Finals last year. It didn't happen as the Jackfish were upset by the Guelph Royals in the semifinals. And Barrie and Welland definitely 2 of the top teams in this IBL despite Barrie's slow start. Teams around the IBL know that as the defending champs, they are the team to beat. Home plate umpire Jared Merkley tonight. Scott Costello behind the bag at first, and Keith Corville is handling duties at third. With Rosado's first pitch on the way, misses off the plate. Our first pitch at 7:40 tonight under a smoke-filled sky here in Springwater Township. A very hazy day and a temperature of 20 degrees. Feels a little bit muggier than that.
Yeah, the air quality advisory earlier in the day is still persisting.
And it's been over our area for a couple of days now, despite some thunderstorms and some rain here in Barrie earlier today. Still very smoggy. We'll see if that sky plays a factor on fly balls as we head through today's game. One and one. Hit on the ground a second, and that'll be an easy play for Francisco Hernandez. One away as we look at the defense for the Baycats behind Cesar Rosado.
Here's defense for the Baycats in the outfield from left to right. We have Tristan Clark, Noel McGarry-Doyle, Willie Garcia, your typical starting three back there. On the infield, Adam Odd's back, first game since the 24th of May. Hernandez brothers up the middle, Brandon at short, Francisco at second, Noah Macabrota back starting at first base, and Lelise Beltran is catching Cesar Rosado.
And this is Gio Morello, as Jackfish PA announcer Rod Mahood would say. I don't know how he does that with his voice. First time I heard it, I honestly thought he had that voice in a production studio or something. 30-year-old Toronto native, joined the Jackfish after 2 very good seasons in Brantford. He's got 9 hits and 20 at-bats. It's a .450 average in 6 games.
Set the IBL single-season run-scoring record in 2022. It was a first-team All-IBL. He had 60 runs scored that year.
He is a pure ball player on both sides of the field. Fouls that one away, and the count is 1-1.
Well, a big part of that is the way he's dangerous on the bases, so definitely a guy that Cesar Rosado trying to limit him being on as much. And we know Rosado, you can tell he gets a little bit more hesitant with runners on base too.
Rosado with the bases empty behind him right now, taking his time though. He looks in for the sign, comes to the belt. Morello is ready. And Rosado deals. Called strike, and that's 1-2.
Mentioned that year, 60 runs scored. A big part of that was 34 stolen bases by Morello, and that wasn't even the most on his team. Brandon Nicholson setting the IBL single-season record that same year. His teammate, former Barrie Baycat himself as well.
Yeah, they were by far and away the most aggressive team on the bases that season. The crowd behind Cesar Rosado with a 1-2 count. Here comes the pitch. It's a high fly ball, center field shallow, and it'll drop for a base hit in front of Noel McGarry-Doyle. So the Jackfish get their first base runner with 1 out here on the top of the first.
An aggressive turn there from Morello, too. We were just talking about his speed on the base path. I was seeing if he might be able to go for 2 there, but Noel McGarry-Doyle came up with the ball clean enough and in good time to limit him to just a single.
Certainly looked like it crossed his mind. His baseball instinct's very good. 7 strikeouts for Rosado so far this season, just 4 walks. Hit the triple-digit strikeout mark last year, and here's a ground ball to short. Hernandez to first. The stretch, it's in time for the outs. A 6-4-3 double play, and that'll do it for the Jackfish in the top of the first inning. No score as we head to the bottom of the first here on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
From 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
First inning of play brought to you by Park Place, Barrie's Grand Slam destination for dining, shopping, and fun. See you after the game.
Barrie's starting 9 for Sports Medicine, the official clinic of the Barrie Baycats. Noel McGarry-Doyle leading off in center field. Brandon Hernandez at short. Batting second, Nolan Macabrota. First baseman batting third. Ryan Rio DHing and cleanup hitting. Willie Garcia, the right fielder, bats fifth. Tristan Clark in left bats sixth. Adam Odd, Lilise Beltran, and Francisco Hernandez. 7-8-9 for Josh Matlow and the Baycats here tonight.
And on the mound for the Welland Jackfish, Teodoro Ortega making his second start of the season. Won his first start, that was May 27th against London. 5 innings, just 2 earned runs allowed, 4 hits. Kind of the same kind of line as Cesar Rosado in their last starts. Last year for the Jackfish, 2-0 record in 5 appearances. Didn't allow an earned run through 16 2/3.
Some outstanding numbers. McGarry-Doyle fouls that off at home plate. The 25-year-old right-hander from Panama. Likes to wear those pants up high, just below the knees. Kicks and deals. Fouls it off the screen.
Very heavy fastball pitcher. Even went with it there on the 0-2 count. Especially the left-handers like McGarry-Doyle.
5th game for McGarry-Doyle since rejoining the Baycats. 267 his average coming into tonight. Taking all the way, and it's a called strike 3 on the outer half of the plate. 1 down.
Give you the defense for the Welland Jackfish behind Teodoro Ortega. Mateo Porcelato in left, Gio Morello in center, Brandon Hupe in right field. On the infield is Jake Sanford, Jonah Weisner on the left side, Brandon Luther at second base, Grayson Barrett getting the start at first, and mentioned earlier Robert Mullen behind the plate getting the start yet again.
This is Brandon Hernandez, second-year Baycat, joined by brother Francisco at second base this year. Fouls that weekly down the first base side.
Josh Matlow stacked the top of this lineup with 4 left-handed hitters against the righty Ortega. I mentioned how fastball heavy. I think that could definitely play into the benefit of the Baycats lineup, especially at the top.
Hernandez hitting .250 coming into tonight. A 1 pitch, misses. And the count is even 1-1. Ortega pitches, and it's a swing and a miss on the fastball, 1-2.
Big cut there from Hernandez. He kind of saw that well out of the hand on a high fastball.
No score. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Here's Ortega. And that one's in the dirt. Count is 2-2. Teo Ortega looks into Robert Mullen for the sign. Shakes him off once. Now he deals on the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Outer half of the plate again. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ortega.
Well, home plate umpire Jared Merkley might be the enemy of this Baycats lineup if to back-to-back strikeouts looking not the way you want to start this ball game if you're Barrie.
Merkley giving Ortega those calls on the outside corner, and he went back there twice. And here's second-year Baycat, Nolan Macabrota.
Barrie only struck out 7 times against Kitchener on Sunday, which is much lower than their regular season average, which can get over double digits at least early in this season.
When we saw Nolan Macabrota a little over a month ago at our media night, I swear it looked like he had grown in the offseason.
And he's in much better shape than he was last year. You can tell his fitness was better. Right? He just looks a bit slimmer.
I think that with a little bit of extra upper body muscle that he's added, and it has made him look taller. Whether he actually grew inches or not, who knows?
Absolutely.
It's hard to imagine.
You can tell he pushed himself to really try and make that Frontier League, team that he was, in camp with early in the spring.
Yeah, it had to be a mixture of disappointment, but, certainly happy to be back here in Barrie and rejoining a championship ball club. 2-1 pitch on the way. And it's hit on the ground, right side. An easy play for the first baseman, Grayson Barnett, and that will do it. That will do it for Barrie. 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the first inning. Still scoreless here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV, Barrie.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Top of the second inning at Athletic Kulture Stadium. This telecast is presented by the authority of the Inter-County Baseball League and the Barrie Baycats Baseball Club, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or retransmission in any form is strictly prohibited. Let's get a report now from our sideline reporter, Maddie Gale.
Yeah, Brian Essery, Welland manager, told me pregame that even though Welland's undefeated, there's many kinks he needs to figure out to complete the lineup for the season, but he is happy with how they performed so far. A bit of a fun fact, but he is also a staff sergeant with Niagara Regional Police. He received a Medal of Exemplary Police Service from the Governor General. He told me pregame that he uses a lot of the lessons he learns through the police force and his experiences in coaching the team and keeping them on top of things, which Barrie's Tyler Plumpton on the Baycats also works in the police force, and he told me similarly he also uses lessons from both policing and baseball to help him within both areas of his life.
Thank you, Maddie. Well, that is very interesting. I knew about Tyler Plumpton on the police force. I did not know about Welland manager Brian Essery. What if the players call him Sarge, do you think?
I'm not sure. That's interesting. He was telling us, too, that, he instills a lot of, uniformity within his team. And I think we've seen that in a lot of different sports, but I think that's something that he got his team to, kind of pride on. It definitely shows in how well they've played. It kind of brings them together.
Robert Mullen with 4 home runs already this season, tops in the IBL, and a .458 average in 6 games. Former London Major, off to an outstanding start this season again with the Jackfish.
Won the batting title in 22 with the Majors and a championship season for them.
He's ahead in the count 3-0 here. Rosado's pitch, and he's taking all the way. It's a called strike.
Everybody clap your hands.
Ben, are you familiar with Bud Grant?
Bud Grant.
Hall of Fame football coach, Bud Grant.
I'm familiar with the
Grey
name.
Cup champion.
Okay.
Coached the Blue Bombers and later coached the Vikings. But we're talking about the uniformity with Brian Essery and the Jackfish. He was very much like that with the Minnesota Vikings. He was always have guys stand on the sideline, helmet within, tucked under their elbow, facing the flag, national anthem. Everyone had to have their socks a certain height and a certain layer. He kind of got his team to rally around stuff like that too.
Sometimes players like that, and they thrive in that type of culture. Having that strict code of conduct sometimes not a bad thing.
Well, obviously it works for Welland. They've back-to-back pennant winners in the IBL and championship 2 years ago.
Mullen draws a walk, so the leadoff man is aboard, and here comes Mateo Porcelato. This guy had 27 stolen bases last year for the Jackfish, a threat at the plate and on the bases.
Well, with how well Weisner's been hitting at the top of the order, you can't really take him away from that. Porcelato really a tailor-made leadoff hitter, but hitting in the cleanup spot today, or in the 5th spot, pardon me.
It's unusual for a guy with that many steals to be in the middle of the order, but you're right, there really aren't many other options. That's how strong this lineup is, especially the top half.
Well, with Esri saying there's still some tweaks to be made, obviously Porcelato coming back definitely plays into that.
Middle infield at double play depth. They got a 6-4-3 double play to end the first. And it's on the ground again. This one past Rosado. Francisco Hernandez has one play, and that's to first. So Porcelato retired on the fielder's choice. Mullen to second, and there's one out in the inning.
Right fielder number 21, Brandon Hupe.
Still productive at bat there from Porcelato. Still getting his feet under him back in the IBL. Was only released, from Quebec in the Frontier League, about 5 days ago. Not even. 5 days ago from Quebec. So got his chance in Frontier League. Really struggled early on, and that's why he's back with Welland. They welcome him back with open arms.
Right fielder Brandon Hupe now. Backhanded by Beltran. Looks the runner back.
Nice block by Beltran there. That breaking ball really got away from Rosado. You can tell he kind of has a different approach a little bit with runners on base. Not even necessarily his delivery, but it seems like he might be a little bit more flustered than he would with bases empty. But still, more often than not, manages to get out of the innings unscathed. As long as he can limit the walks.
Checks the runner, kicks and deals the 1-0 on the ground over the glove of Rosado to second, and Francisco Hernandez will make the play to first once again. So another 4-3, fielder's choice. Mullen to third.
First baseman number 24.
Well, that play almost kind of caught Francisco Hernandez off guard. I think he was lucky to be able to snag that kind of just near the side of his body and make that play.
Would be interesting to see what would have happened if Rosado came down with that, because he definitely made an attempt, and he thought he might have a chance to get that ball before it got past him. Would he have tried to make a play at third and try to get Mullen in a rundown between second and third, which is always a risky play? As a result, the Jackfish have a runner 90 feet away with 2 out in the inning, and it's Grayson Barrett.
Dual citizen, Grayson Barrett, originally from Bakersfield, California. Starting his season pretty decent, 240 average, a couple home runs.
One 1-0 pitch. On the ground. Down the line, Rosado picks it up, and he's going to look the runner back, and the ball is still in play. He'll just make the underhand toss in time. That's really the best move in that situation. Last thing you want to do is get faked out by the batter. And next thing you know, he's standing on first base. So crisis averted as the Jackfish strand a runner. We've played an inning and a half, still scoreless, here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Second inning of play brought to you by JC Unlimited Contracting. Design, supply, build, renovate. Servicing Simcoe region for over a decade.
Ryan Rio comes to the plate for the Barrie Baycats in a scoreless tie. Willie Garcia and Tristan Clark to follow.
Ryan Rio.
Fans here tonight at Athletic Kulture Stadium getting a chance to participate in the first of 4 of our Stuffy Drive nights presented by Winmar. Winmar Willie was on the field for our ceremonial first pitch tonight.
I don't think I've ever seen a mascot, at least here, do a first pitch. I know I've probably seen it in other places. But
You're right.
Here.
I can't recall either.
And you don't know this about me, but I love mascots way too much.
I thought you were going to tell me you love stuffed animals.
Same thing.
They are, just oversized and slightly human.
Could you? I'm sure you're familiar with the teddy bear toss. A lot of hockey teams do that kind of thing, especially the Hershey Bears who overdo it every year.
Well, I think that's where it started.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. But could you imagine a baseball team doing that? Something similar? It wouldn't work nearly as well, but that would be really interesting.
It would be fun. You could do it. There's no reason why you couldn't. Now, the fans behind home plate here would want to come down to, otherwise, unless they can throw it over the screen. That's a pretty high screen. Rio on the ground to third base. Long throw across the diamond for Jake Sanford. In the dirt, but it's scooped up by Grayson Barrett, one away. So there are 3 more games after tonight that you can bring your gently used stuffed toys to donate to children. And those games are June 14th, July 5th, and August 7th. Check out the Winmar tent down the first base line. You can drop off your stuffed animals, and they will be donated to some children to bring a lot of smiles to kids. I was an OHL announcer right around the time the teddy bear toss was starting to pick up and teams around the league started doing it, and it was really, really exciting to see. Usually it happens after the first goal of the game and all the toys get thrown on the ice, and then there's like a 5-minute timeout where they're all cleared off. But
so this year with the Barrie Colts, they played Ottawa on the road, and Ottawa had their teddy bear toss that night. And when Ottawa scored the first goal of the game, there was a massive fight that broke out
I remember
at the same time.
Bears flying everywhere.
Yeah, it was so interesting to see how everyone kind of maneuvered it.
This is Willie Garcia, 1 out and a 1-2 count. So did you have teddy bear or stuffed toys as a kid? Do you remember any?
I wasn't really attached to that kind of thing. I definitely did, but it wasn't like a necessity for me in my childhood.
So I had Sesame Street's Ernie and Bert.
Oh, nice.
On the ground to short, Weisner to first for the out. So I had Ernie. Apparently, this is how my parents tell the story because I'm so young I can't really remember. But I had Ernie when I was really, really little, and then they bought Bert for me on my birthday or Christmas or something like that, and they put him under my bed, and I found him, but my reaction was just so nonchalant. I was like, "Oh, Bert, I've been looking for you." I wasn't like surprised or excited to see him there. I was like, "Oh, Bert, there you are."
That's back together.
And then I remember having both Ernie and Bert as a kid.
That's awesome.
Yeah. 2 outs in the inning. And it's a called strike.
I will say I loved Sesame Street growing up. I even sometimes now will go back and watch some of the clips from PBS on YouTube.
Fouled away, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Couple of ground balls here for Teo Ortega. 2 quick outs. The bottom of the second inning, Jackfish and Baycats. Second of 5 regular season matchups for these rivals.
Yeah, Ortega's been very efficient so far. Retired the first 5 batters he's faced, 2 of them on strikeouts.
0-2 pitch on the way. Wanted the call, and half of the infield was a step to the dugout, and they will step back.
A risky take there from Tristan Clark, but it paid off.
Looked like a good pitch.
I mentioned it earlier, Ortega very heavy on the fastball, and even especially on those 0-2 counts, you really expect a breaking ball there, but there's the breaking ball.
Fouled back to the screen.
Yeah, there's the breaking ball. You can tell after the count got to 1-2, Ortega starting to mix something in a little bit. He's got a curveball and slider at his disposable.
5 up, 5 down for Ortega. And a 1-2 count here to rookie Tristan Clark. Rocks into the windup, and the 1-2 on the way, and it's fouled away off to the right.
Clark's the guy for me where once you see him really start to heat up, you're going to see this Baycats offense at its peak.
Showed us his power right from the get-go early this season, and this one's rocked to center field. It's got a little bit of carry, but it'll hang up, and sprinting over to the left is Gio Morello to take that for the third out of the inning. So 6 up, 6 down for the Baycats facing Teo Ortega. We've played 2 scoreless between the Jackfish and the Baycats on Rogers TV and Baycats TV on YouTube.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp. See you this summer!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
The #1 architectural 3D rendering company in Canada, working with thousands of builders, developers.
Welland Jackfish, top of the third inning.
At bat for the Jackfish.
Brandon Luther, the number 8 hitter and second baseman, will lead it off against Cesar Rosado. As mentioned, these teams faced each other in the 2023 IBL Championship Series. Welland won that here at what was then known as Vintage Throne Stadium. And Barrie, of course, the reigning champs, taking it in 2024 against the Guelph Royals. Despite Welland winning the pennant, it was the Royals upsetting the Jackfish in the second-round playoff series.
In 5 games, too, and it seemed like the pitching success for Welland that they had all throughout the regular season didn't live up to snuff in the playoffs. Because the Kitchener Panthers even stole a game off them in the opening round.
A high pop-up. Shallow left field. Shortstop will give way to the left fielder. Taking it as Tristan Clark went away. So the number 9 hitter, Josh Marchese, comes to the plate. I feel like there's still a little bit of an extra buzz in the crowd when Welland comes to Barrie. Even after last year's championship over the Guelph Royals, these fans still remember 2023 very well.
Just less than 2 years ago, and that was a exhilarating series. We both called, multiple games in that series, especially that, series-changing home run by Carlos Martinez.
Yeah, they were 1 pitch away from a 3-1 series lead over the Jackfish, and instead the series went a completely opposite direction. Welland took that to tie the series and then won the next 2, clinching it here in Barrie in 6 games. Rosado with the 0-1, and that's a fly ball. Pretty deep to left field. Clark going back and to his right. Reaches up, and he makes the catch. A beautiful backhanded grab by Tristan Clark, and there are 2 away.
Tristan Clark has been spectacular defensively over the last couple games. Haven't even mentioned that home run robbery in Kitchener on Sunday afternoon. But it seems like the move over to left field has really done him wonders, even with Noel McGarry-Doyle taking the spot in center.
A lot of fans here miss Kinesijo's highlight reel grabs in the outfield. I got a feeling Tristan Clark is going to satisfy that many times over this season. Covers a lot of ground out there in the outfield.
That was a difficult catch, too. He had to kind of reach over and make that backhanded.
So 2 out in the inning. Rosado goes inside, ball 1. Back to Jonah Weisner. He started the game with a ground out to second.
Jonah Weisner on a 30-3-0 game hit streak, including last year's playoffs. Only 5 games in his IBL career these 2 seasons he hasn't had a hit.
To short. Hernandez to first. Beats him by a stride. So the Jackfish go 3 up, 3 down in the top of the third. We're rolling along here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. No score through 2.5. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fentz from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game, hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game.
Top of the third inning brought to you by Render 3D Quick, the #1 architectural 3D rendering company in Canada, working with thousands of builders, developers, architects, and more.
Matty Gale, Julius Hern, and Ben Davy at Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater Township. Welland Jackfish in town for the first time of this 2025 season. And a nice hand for Adam Odd as he comes to the plate, just his 3rd game here in 2025 for the Baycats.
Yeah, first game in nearly 2 weeks in a Baycats uniform, but always a welcome addition to the lineup. And we talked about it opening night. Adam Odd was batting 9th that night. When you have Adam Odd at the bottom of your order, you definitely have something good going for you, has well of a bat that he can swing.
And then they put Francisco Hernandez in the #9 spot, and suddenly he caught fire. So this is a lineup that can kill you top to bottom when they're firing on all cylinders. Odd hits this one to left field. And that'll hang up, and the catch is made by Porchelato, 1 away.
7 straight retired for Ortega.
#8 hitter, Luis Beltran, hit a big home run at Jack Couch Park on Sunday afternoon. Did you like that little pose that he did after he
I loved it. I thought it went so hard. That was awesome. And
you could have put a chair underneath him as he sat down and watched that. He was kind of leaning back on his bat. And I don't know, I mean, maybe you know, but was that intentional, or was that just a result of his momentum and the way he kind of followed through on the swing?
I think a bit of both. For Beltran, he's obviously a guy that Josh Matlow wants to get heating up, because that was only his 2nd hit of the season. And both of his hits have been home runs. One of them was in Welland, the other one at Jack Couch Park. So I think for him, just to kind of get a little bit more confidence in his bat, that was huge, and he was kind of basking in it a little bit.
Former New York Yankees prospect, and it has been a slow start at the plate for him. His defense has been outstanding. A high pop up. It looks like it's going to be playable. Left side, third baseman Sanford calls for it, and he's got it. 2 down. So Teo Ortega 1 out away from going through the Baycat order 1 through 9 without a hit. 8 up, 8 down so far. It's the hot hitting Francisco Hernandez now. This might be the toughest challenge for Ortega of these 9 hitters. Taking on the first pitch, and it's a called strike. Hernandez was 1 for his first 14. He was hitting .071 on May 28th. Had a 2 for 3 game the next day, 5 for 8 in his last 2 games. He's got the average up to .286 coming into tonight.
Yeah, 4 extra base hits, a double and 2 homers on Sunday for him in Kitchener. Obviously a hitter-friendly ballpark, but that's exactly what the Baycats need to kind of, get the pressure off.
3 straight strikes from Ortega, and it's 9 up, 9 down for the Baycats. We've played 3. A scoreless tie between the Jackfish and the Baycats. You're watching Rogers TV in Barrie and Baycats TV on YouTube.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
Top of the 4th inning at Athletic Kulture Stadium. We're scoreless. Jackfish and Baycats. Let's check in once again with Maddie Gale.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, we just saw Francisco Hernandez, and he's been in that 9th spot for the Baycats batting lineup. When I asked him pregame about it, he said he enjoys being in that batting spot because it gives him more time to think about the game, and he's able to think about what he wants to do. Looking back at the Kitchener game, this worked in the Baycats' favor as he hit his first 2 bombs as a Baycat.
Definitely caught fire at just the right time. Thank you, Maddie. Josh Matlow chatting with Jared Merkley right now. This game has been moving along at a very fast pace. Still early, 3 innings in, but 3 innings in 38 minutes. This game started at 7:40.
That's crazy. Usually you see major league games go about an hour 10 for 3 innings.
I'm not sure what Josh Matlow's talking to the umpire about, but leadoff man is Gio Morello, the center fielder. Good crowd here tonight on this Thursday evening. Early June, first pitch called strike. Inside part of the plate. Merkley's strike zone has been very generous for the pitchers so far. Don't know if that's what Josh was talking to the manager or the umpire about, but another pitch, almost the same spot. He does not get that call.
Well, Jared Merkley was the home plate umpire the last home game here Saturday against Hamilton. And especially later in the game, there was a lot of questionable calls from the Baycats' perspective. But really, the issues from the Baycats' point of view are coming early on in this ball game.
1-1 the count. Fouled away to the left. Looks like that will be out of play, and it is.
It just seems like so far, at least, you can say this for both sides, but the strike zone on lefties has been quite wide. So a lot of adaptation needs to happen the second time through the lineup for both teams.
Saw a social media post earlier today that indicated Major League Baseball might be considering that ABS system of balls and strikes as early as next year.
Do you think it worked in spring training?
It didn't seem to slow the games down too much, did it?
No, I thought it was very well done.
Was not bad. I don't want to see them replace umpires completely.
No, neither do I.
I don't think most fans want that. But if you gave each team, and here's the suggested idea, each team would get 2 challenges.
That's what it was in spring ball.
And they would retain the challenge if the call is overturned.
Yeah, that's what it was like in spring training too. And I think that's exactly how it should be.
The technology's there, may as well consider it. Use video replay for enough other things now. Hit hard to right field, base hit. Second hit of the game for the Jackfish. Morello, both times. Singled in the first, singles here in the fourth. And there's one on with nobody out.
13, Jake Sanford.
I think one byproduct of that system, if they do decide to go for it, is it might eliminate the amount of pitch framing that we see from catchers. Because you see a lot of that now of catchers pulling balls into the strike zone and trying to help the pitcher out. And you can't blame them for doing so. It's kind of turned into an art form among catchers, trying to get those important pitches. This one hits a left field. Clark to his right, makes the running grab. One down.
I was just about to mention the framing aspect. I think we'll still see it because it's not like each team is going to be loaded up with challenges. They're only going to have 2 for a game. They will retain, obviously, if it's a correct challenge, but we'll still see the pitch framing aspect be a part of the game. I think, being able to, quote-unquote, steal a strike here and there is going to be so valuable. It can change the course of an at-bat.
Well, that's definitely true. It would be interesting to see. One out in the inning. One on. Runner does not go. First pitch. Called strike from Cesar Rosado. Robert Mullen walked in the second.
And Morello bluffed a little bit on that call. He was nearly a third of the way down to second base.
Do that right away after you do that.
Has speed. Rosado not paying much attention to him. To the belt.
I think he's going to go.
Kicks and deals. Hit weakly. Foul.
You can tell Morello was leaning a little bit. He could have definitely made a jump there. Rosado wasn't looking back at him. Mentioned it earlier in the ball game. You can see the demeanor of Rosado changes a little bit when he's got runners on, especially at first base. We saw pickoff attempts right away in a couple of his relief appearances this year.
Morello does not have a steal this season. Has been caught twice. Jackfish are 7 for 10 in stolen base attempts coming into tonight. And now Rosado will step off. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Lively crowd here tonight at the ballpark in Springwater. Rosado does not have a strikeout so far tonight. Here's the 0-2, and it's fouled away. Good at bat here by Robert Mullen, staying alive with 2 strikes. Jackfish are off tomorrow. They host London Saturday, 6:05. Alec Murray, Spencer Tanguay, and company will have that one for us from the Rose City. The 2 p.m. game Sunday against the Leafs at Christie Pitts. Rosado to Mullen. Inside, and the count is 1-2. Barrie visits London tomorrow night, so both these teams play the majors this weekend. And then that's it for the weekend for the Baycats. There's lots of excitement, of course, for the inaugural 22U playoff, or Baycats' first regular season game here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. That'll be here on Saturday afternoon. I definitely want to check that out and see some of the younger players in the Baycats pipeline this year. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rosado deals off speed, and it's high and away. Beltran looking the runner back. Bluff to throw to first.
I'm really surprised we haven't seen Morello go on any pitch here. There's only 1 out, and Beltran's only thrown out 1 batter or 1 base runner in 6 stolen base attempts this year. See Morello kind of inch further and further as Rosado delays his delivery.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Rosado takes a look, comes set. 2-2 incoming. Swing and a miss! And a throw down, not in time. The strikeout for IMP North. And a big K for Cesar Rosado.
Seemed like forever it took Rosado to get his first strikeout of the game, and that was a big one against Robert Mullen, IBL Player of the Week last week. And again, Gio Morello at first base nearly caught napping at first base. Beltran with a smart pickoff move behind him at first base.
By the way, I've been wanting to tell you, I've been wanting for a long time to get a picture of you standing next to Cesar Rosado, and the caption on the photo would be Julius Caesar.
I think we can make that happen.
I keep thinking of it, then I forget to bring it up, and I'm like, we got to do it. We got to do it.
Ben, we will make that happen.
All right.
Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
We got you.
I need content for my Instagram stories. 0-1 the count. And the runner goes. Here's the throw down. A one bouncer. The tag not in time. First stolen base of the season for Gio Morello.
Seemed like he was playing the waiting game with Rosado and Beltran, and it paid off. Just getting in behind the tag, pardon me. Beltran only 1 for 7 in throwing runners out stealing this year. Not that he doesn't have a good arm, but runners are just getting a great jump, especially that one from Morello.
Well, that one in the dirt, and it had a chance to get him. It was on target. But the fleet-footed Gio Morello getting in time.
Well,
Waste that one high and away, 1-1.
Beltran wasn't able to get into a motion where he was rising or about to stand up as he was making the throw down. He was still kind of in his crouch. That played a big part in the throw not being able to get there in time.
By the way, that 22U game here on Saturday afternoon is a 4:05 first pitch against Hamilton's 22U team. We saw the IBL Hamilton Cardinals here last week. 2-1 pitch low and inside. And you can see the full schedule of the U22 Baycats at barriebaycats.com/junior-U22-schedule. Or just go to the main page and click on the box for the 22U schedule for 2025.
It's going to be some exciting baseball, Ben.
3-1. Rosado ready. Here's the pitch. Missed. Ball 4. Pitch down low and a little bit off the plate. So 2 base runners now for Welland.
Right fielder number 21.
And here's Brandon Hupe.
See a mound visit here from Beltran. First time that Rosado's facing a runner in scoring position, and now 2 on.
Speaking of the 22U Baycats, Barrie enjoyed some phenomenal pitching from 3 rookies on Sunday in Kitchener. Ethan Morris, Jonathan Warden, and Jason Roach. 3 young pitchers that a lot of fans probably haven't heard of yet, and what an outing they had at Jack Couch Park making their IBL debuts.
Yeah, I told Josh Matlow this after the game, but I thought it was the most complete performance as a team, at least since I've started working with the club. And the fact that they got that performance, 8 innings, only 1 earned run from those 3 junior pitchers was incredible, and the offense backed them up plenty with 12 runs.
Truly amazing to get that kind of pitching without using Rosado, Garces, or Benitez, your big 3 starters, or Carlos Sano. Certainly the pitching staff is built around those 3 or 4 arms there, but you add these youngsters, and we haven't even seen Frank Cayeta yet.
Cayeta, Ethan Morris, a few other players will split time. They'll be on both the IBL roster and the junior team roster.
So you're going to see some of them throughout the 22U schedule for sure. And obviously some action with the IBL Baycats. Morris went 5 innings, 1 unearned run on 7 hits, 6 strikeouts, no walks, and picked up the win in his IBL League debut. Jonathan Warden also pitching in his first IBL game. 2 shutout no-hit innings of relief, 4 strikeouts, no walks. And Jason Roach, a shutout inning of relief as well. Allowed a hit, but he struck out the side. So really all around, you couldn't ask for a better performance from that trio of young arms.
These young guys have some incredible stuff, and Morris in particular, he actually is available out of the bullpen tonight. Powerful lefty.
2 balls and a strike. Rosado. Checks the runner at second, and he deals, and it's high. Long inning here for Cesar Rosado.
Long time between pitches there for Rosado. I mentioned it a couple times now, but his demeanor really changes with runners on, especially at second base right behind him.
We played 3 innings in 38 minutes to start this game. We might play 38 minutes here in this top of the 4th inning. Baseball can be like that.
Yeah.
Rosado really slowing it down. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and it's high, ball 4, back-to-back walks. And the Jackfish have the bases loaded in the 4th.
First baseman number 24, Grayson Barrett.
Slowing things down doesn't really seem to be helping Rosado here. He might be better off just kind of picking up the pace and just coming right at these Jackfish hitters rather than taking so much time out there. Gets a fresh baseball. This is Grayson Barrett, the first baseman.
We've still got forced plays all around the diamond, so one ground ball could get him out of the inning, no problem.
There are 2 away. Barrett with 4 RBIs coming into tonight. Pitch from Rosado, and it's hit to short. Hernandez goes to first. It's a low throw, and the bouncer is into the glove of Nolan Macabrota. Jackfish strand runners in the top of the 4th, unable to score. Still goose eggs between the Jackfish and the Baycats here in Springwater Township. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Bottom of the 4th inning, brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, redefining gentlemen one community at a time. Let's check in with Maddie Gale.
Yeah, earlier in the inning, we saw Josh Matlow talking to the home plate umpire. I went down and asked what he was talking about, and Matlow told me that he was talking about just pitching inconsistencies and what the umpire is looking for when he's making those calls.
Thank you, Maddie. Yeah, we had a feeling it would probably be something to do with balls and strikes. You mentioned Julius. It's Jared Merkley's second game here in as many home games, so Barrie has become quite familiar with him over the last couple of games.
Especially with the Baycats having not reached yet, definitely becoming an issue here for
Noel McGarry-Doyle gets Barrie's first hit of the evening. So the leadoff man is aboard here in the 4th. Boy, they'd love to get a full season out of Noel McGarry-Doyle here in 2025. Last year played just 13 games before his injury. Sidelined him for the playoffs. He hit .463 in those 13 games and off to another outstanding start here in 2025.
He was set to play in the IBL All-Star game. Didn't because of his injury that ended up ending his season, but he is that, that valuable piece to the Baycats lineup. Obviously, he's stuck around that leadoff spot, and it's worked so far.
Hernandez fouls it back to the screen. Plays very well here at home as well. He had 3 hits, went 3 for 4 in the Hamilton game here at home when the Barnstormers were here last week. He reached base 4 times in 5 plate appearances. 3 for 5, and he reached on an error.
It's interesting because the 2 road games, he hasn't had a hit. Last year, he had every game he had a hit with the Baycats.
Does not go. Got a big lead. A called strike to Hernandez. It's part of a 1-2 punch with Canisijo last season that was one of the best in the IBL. Ijo not back with the club here in 2025.
Well, it seemed like right around the time McGarry Doyle got injured and wasn't able to return, Brandon Hernandez kind of took that spot in the number 2 spot in the lineup. And that's kind of where we sit right now. McGarry Doyle, Hernandez 1-2.
Looks like he wants to go. He's got a lead, and he does. Here's the pitch, fouled away. Hit and run was on, and Hernandez couldn't put it in play.
Yeah, big gap on the left side. Jonah Weisner kind of vacating that traditional shortstop area in favor of covering the bag, awaiting a possible stolen base attempt there from Noel McGarry Doyle. So Hernandez, obviously, he sees that big gap between short and third base, trying to put it there. You imagine with the speed of McGarry Doyle, he could go first to third on a play like that.
And the throw over. No steals and no attempts yet this season. Still early. Low-scoring game. Baycats haven't been too aggressive this season on the bases with steal attempts. 3 attempts and 2 steals for those 3 so far. Does not go here and is fouled back to the screen, so some good hacks by Hernandez. Hasn't been able to put the ball in play yet. It's 0-2.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a breaking pitch here from Ortega. Back-to-back 0-2 fastballs. Doesn't mix up a lot of his breaking pitches. Obviously a fastball-heavy pitcher, but could see it here. I wonder if Hernandez is sitting off speed.
Middle infield a couple of steps to the right. Jonah Weisner at short, Brandon Luther at second. They will be ready for the ground ball. No balls, 2 strikes. McGarry Doyle with the lead, does not go, and they pitch out. And McGarry Doyle staying put. So the chess game between Brian Essery and Josh Matlow here.
Yeah, you don't see that too often, like a bona fide pitch out. Kind of a rarity now in baseball.
Interesting decision on the 0-2 count. 1-2 now.
Especially after Hernandez fouled the last 2 off.
Here's the pitch. Fouled again. Hernandez has made contact on every swing of this at bat. Yet he's behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two hits for Welland, 1 for the Baycats. Scoreless. Bottom of the 4th inning.
Scoring got started early in the last meeting between these two. Ryan Rio actually had the home run to open the scoring.
Foul back again. Baycats had a low-scoring game against Hamilton. Juan Benitez and Freitas Adames with a couple of good pitching performances. Not used to these low scores here in Barrie, but had a couple of them so far here this season. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch, and a swing, and a miss. Strike 3.
Surprising, I didn't look like Mullen, at least from our vantage point, was able to keep that ball off the ground, but I guess he did to confirm the strikeout. Because Hernandez definitely got a piece of it. You could hear it.
Sounded like it went off his bat and into the glove. And home plate umpire Jared Merkley ruling that a catch and a strikeout. So 1 away. Nolan Macabrota now for the Baycats.
Bit more of a modest lead here for Noel McGarry Doyle.
Nolan Macabrota off to a hot start, a home run, 6 RBIs, and a .280 average through 7 games. Panama versus Saskatchewan. Sounds like the World Baseball Classic.
Incredible.
Runner goes. Fouled back to the screen, and McGarry Doyle will have to go back.
Really trying to get that hit and run working. Especially if Macabrota can put one in that right center field gap, McGarry Doyle is scoring standing up. And it didn't seem like he was late on that breaking ball.
Strategy here clearly seems to be to send him and have the guy at the plate put the ball in play.
We also really want to stay out of that double play, too.
He had a really good jump on that last pitch on the 1-0. Does not go here, and a quasi pitch out. It was high and outside.
The first pitch of this at bat was very similar. It was high above the zone. Mullen had to stand up to make the catch.
So kind of an intentional miss on that pitch. 2 balls and a strike. McGarry Doyle looking in. Fans want him to go. 2-1 pitch. Called strike. And the count is even.
Yeah, just catching that inside corner. Didn't seem like Macabrota was too much of a fan of that, but he's smart enough to not say anything to home plate umpire Jared Merkley.
2-2, 1 out. Ortega. Big pitch coming up here. Deals the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Big cut by Nolan Macabrota. Couldn't connect. 2 down in the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ortega, and now here's Ryan Rio.
Yeah, and that's already 5 on the game for Ortega. Only allowing the 1 base runner. He's been quite efficient. Baycats doing their absolute best to foul off as many pitches as possible. We saw that with Brandon Hernandez earlier, trying to stay alive in those 0-2 counts, but getting the pitch count up on Ortega is going to be key for Barrie, even if they aren't able to score any runs.
Another dangerous bat here for Ortega, Ryan Rio. First pitch fouls it off. Rio led the Baycats in home runs last season with 6. Took him a while to get heated up, but had an incredible second half.
The fact that his first half was very slow, as you mentioned, but his second half was so good, he still got a second-team All-IBL selection.
Different story here in 2025 with a hot start, 429 through 4 games. Has 6 hits. 0-1 pitch, fouled away.
He was the lone bright spot for this Baycats offense the first few games of the year. They started 0-3, as we've mentioned before. He had a home run in that game in Welland that started the scoring.
Big pitch coming up here for Ortega as he tries to keep this game scoreless. Bottom of the 4th inning.
Wonder if the hit and run's on again, 0-2.
Teo deals. Fouled away. High one. A lot of foul balls to that left side.
Saw the hit and run on with Hernandez at the plate on an 0-2 count. With Macabrota, it was 1-1. But Rio's definitely got to protect here. Still that large gap between short and third base open for Rio, a guy that can really spray the field.
Ortega has retired 11 of 12. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Fouled again. Would love to see McGarry Doyle go without a guy swinging and fouling it off. How many attempts has he had here? At least 3. I think that was the 4th.
Third base coach Andrew Lights put that hit and run on each of the last 3 at-bats, including this one.
Almost want to just give Rio a take here and let McGarry Doyle try to steal second, get in scoring position for him here.
It was inching a bit further.
No balls, 2 strikes. Does not go. Fouled again.
So many foul balls, Jared Merkley had to go back to get more baseballs. So, these Baycats hitters, they're on the fastball from Ortega. They're just not able to barrel it up.
All those foul balls over near the Welland bus. If I was a kid, that's where I'd be standing right now. You're going to get a souvenir at some point.
Yeah. Ortega's got the velocity. These Baycats hitters aren't necessarily late on them, but more so than they are early.
Swing and a miss. Tag is applied, strike 3. Some great pitching by Teo Ortega. Strikes out 3 in a row, and Noel McGarry-Doyle stranded at first base. Julius up to call innings 5 and 6 when we return. We're scoreless between the Baycats and the Jackfish on Rogers TV Barrie and Baycats TV YouTube.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats.
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer. Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
Top of the 5th inning at Athletic Kulture Stadium. It's 8-9-1 for the Welland Jackfish. Still scoreless here against the hometown Barrie Baycats. Just 3 hits across the board for both teams in this game. Cesar Rosado out for inning number 5.
Jack Barrie. Bring your same-day Baycats tickets before or
Second matchup of the season between these clubs. Jackfish came out on top 9-3 at Welland Stadium last month.
Second baseman number 20, Brandon.
That game was really defined by Barrie's defense. 5 unearned runs in that game ended up giving Chris Lazar the loss. A 4-run 4th inning for the Welland Jackfish was really the key to that game.
And they have not lost since.
Not to mention how dominant Ben Abram was on the mound for the Jackfish. I'm sure that he's the presumptive starting pitcher in my mind for Saturday against the London Majors, but yet to be confirmed from manager Brian Estrie. 1-0 here to Brendan Luther. Flew out to left his first time up. That one back to the pitcher. Rosado scoops it up calmly over to first to Macabrodo. 1 down.
Now, Rosado's had a number of weakly hit balls right back to the mound tonight, and he's handled all of them cleanly. Nice job there, just to stay with that and make the simple play.
Well, a couple of them have gotten by, and that's his second 1-3 putout. Asks for a new baseball. Josh Marchese up, the 9-hitter. Also flew out to left his first time up.
Rosado would really benefit from a quick inning here. He really dragged out that top of the 4th with a couple of walks and a single. Had a bases-loaded jam to pitch his way out of.
Stranded, the bases loaded after a couple walks. Still only 1 strikeout for Rosado, and that breaking pitch is in on Marchese.
Jackfish have allowed just 7 runs in their last 5 games. That works out to an overall average of just 1.7 runs allowed in 6 games.
The run differential is insane, plus 44 through 6 games. They've only allowed 9 earned runs, as you mentioned.
Haven't allowed more than 3 runs per game all season, and that 3-run game was against Barrie.
That last pitch catches the inside part of the plate on Marchese. It's 1-1. Marchese, a former Niagara Purple Eagle.
Seem to be a lot of players in the IBL that have come through that system.
Yeah, especially that end up going to this Welland Jackfish program. I remember seeing Noah Richardson, a pitcher from the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, pitched in the NCAA tournament last year, if I remember correctly, against Oklahoma State as a reliever. Haven't seen him yet on an IBL roster this year. 1-1 from Rosado. That one in there for strike 2.
Yeah, they've really recruited well in that part of Ontario, Southern Ontario, the Niagara Golden Horseshoe region. A lot of players with hometown connections, similar to what the Baycats have tried to do here in Barrie. Players from Simcoe County.
1-2 here on Josh Marchese. Pitch from Rosado. Cut and a miss. Second strikeout of the game. It's brought to you by IMP North. 2 down for Barrie.
Well, Rosado had a little bit of a stutter with that leg kick. He's done that before. It's the first time I've seen him do it in this game. And with 2 strikes, he just managed to catch the number 9 hitter, Marchese, a little bit off balance. And a nice move on a 2-strike count to get a big strikeout.
IBL strikeout leader a season ago, and Rosado still just 2 Ks on the scorecard for him in this game. 3 walks. Big part of that last long inning for him. And here's Jonah Weisner, the top of the order back for the Jackfish. Rosado taking his time. The first pitch shows bunt. He does go around for strike 1. Adam Odd really rushing in from that third base position. Weisner not really giving any sign he was going to show bunt. But now he's playing basically at the edge of the infield turf. Rosado looks in. Weisner on a 30-game hit streak calls time. 0 for 2 in this game, a couple groundouts. Hitting over 380 to start this season. He's definitely a contender for an IBL batting championship later on this season if he's able to keep up that pace. Oh, 1 inside and gets a piece of him. At least it looked like it did. He was able to slide out of the way of that. Very athletic from Weisner.
Yeah, made contact. I thought it made contact with that shin guard, but
maybe it hit the ground. That was maybe the thing we heard from up here in the booth. Weisner will stay at the plate. It's 1-1.
Rosado with 2 strikeouts tonight, but just 7 through 3 games coming into tonight. A little bit lower strikeouts per game than fans might expect to see from Rosado.
1-1. Popped foul out of play on the left side. We noticed, at least I noticed, and I know one of our videographers, Dylan Quinn, noticed it too. His release point is a little bit lower than usual, Rosado.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that, and it made me wonder whether that one small adjustment or something else has maybe caused him to transition into a more of a soft contact pitcher rather than just getting the strikeouts and walks like he did last year.
1-2, ground ball. Third base Adam Odd gets a glove on it, but he's not going to have a play at first base. So Jonah Weisner will reach safely and extend this inning.
Ate him up, a hard hit ball. I think you got to give him an error on it, though, and unfortunate for Odd.
Fielder, number 11.
In and out of his glove.
Hasn't played a whole lot yet this season. But back to Rosado, you mentioned that slight change in the release point, less strikeouts, more ground balls, it seems.
Yeah, 9 ground ball outs in this game so far for him.
And we saw a game, I think it was the Chatham-Kent game where he went with Grieveson, 1-2, Brad Grieveson. Grieveson had a higher strikeout total than Rosado did.
Yeah, in 4 innings.
By the end of the game. So that was kind of a noteworthy statistical oddity. Rosado's always been known as the power pitching strikeout machine. Take nothing away from Brad Grieveson, but you would expect the strikeout total to be the other way.
First pitch a strike on Gio Morello. 2 for 2 so far, stranded at third in the 4th. But that was a runner on in front of him, and Jonah Weisner has a decent-sized lead. Pitch up and away.
Well, both times Morello came to the plate in this game, he came up with the bases empty, and dangerous hitter to have with a man on here. This is a big out for Cesar Rosado with 2 away. 2 singles already off the bat of Morello here tonight. And the only 2 hits for Welland.
Yeah, Morello second on the team in average behind Robert Mullen. .450, that's 9 for 20 so far this year. Another strike, it's 1-2. Well, he's coming into this game 9 for 20.
If the pitch is close tonight, you better be up there swinging. But Morello just let that one go by.
Well, Morello's been getting on base at a torrid clip. .633 on base percentage, 7 walks. He's been hit by 3 pitches as well. So it's not for a lack of trying either. Runner goes, pitch is up, and throw down to second base is in the dirt. Skips up on Brandon Hernandez, backed up by his brother. So stolen base there for Jonah Weisner puts a runner in scoring position.
Second time tonight that Beltran is thrown down in the dirt, and sometimes the middle infielders can still grab that on the bouncer and get the swipe tag down there in time. In that situation, Hernandez unable to come up with it.
Much better form on the throw there from Beltran. The first one a couple innings ago, he was still in his kind of crouch position, not able to stand up as he was throwing. That one much more routine, but the throw not there in the right spot.
It was almost one of those quasi pitch outs again. He was able to get up and in position quickly as the ball was high and outside.
2-2, 2 out. Runner on second for Morello. Rosado trying to get out of this inning. The pitch on the ground to short. Brandon Hernandez rushing in. The throw on to first is in time. So another runner stranded in scoring position for the Welland Jackfish. We are still scoreless going to the bottom of the fifth. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
I'm Chrissy Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Number 5 is 565-4389. Again, 565-4389. And including number 6.
Bottom of the fifth inning for One-Eyed Jack Barrie. Bring your same-day Baycats tickets before or after a game and get 10% off your bill. On the mic, here's Julius Hern.
Thank you, Ben. 3 righties due up for the Baycats. Willie Garcia, Tristan Clark, Adam Odd. Adam Odd is more of a left-handed hitter. 2 righties up for the Baycats. Willie Garcia to lead it off against Teodoro Ortega, who's only allowed 1 base runner so far in this game. That was a 4th-inning single by Noel McGarry Doyle. Other than that, 6 strikeouts on his outing so far through 4.
Hey, here's a guy who really needs that first big moment at the plate. You just sort of sense that if Willie Garcia can get it going with a big moment like Lelise Beltran did on Sunday afternoon, some good things will start to happen. Got the average up to 259 after a very slow start at the plate.
2 for 4 with 2 doubles and a run scored and a walk in Kitchener on Sunday afternoon. That breaking ball well outside. But for Garcia, we asked him before the game, and he said he's feeling way better about himself offensively after that performance. A couple extra base hits can really put you in a better mood.
Still looking for his first home run in the IBL. Has just 1 RBI, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts, and I think that's been the big concern out of the gate for Garcia.
Popped up right side, drifting towards foul territory, and it will not be in reach. Stayed in play, landing on that dirt path towards the Baycats bullpen. So Garcia, a new life now in a 2-1 count.
Well, you had Luther, you had Barrett, you had Hubei all running after that ball. Ended up bouncing right against the fence.
It looked like it was going to slice out of play, but no wind at all at the ballpark right now. Talking about Garcia's start, he knows that he's capable of being a guy that can lead the league in home runs, and Josh Matlow's manager seconds that. 2-1 pitch. That one is driven deep left center field. It is gone. Right on cue for Willie Garcia's first IBL home run. It's a big one. Baycats up 1-0.
Welcome to Barrie, Willie Garcia. We said he needed a big moment, and there it is, as he parks one over the left center field fence, breaking the scoreless tie and putting the Baycats on top. What a monster shot for the former Chicago White Sox. He rocked that ball to left center.
An absolute bomb. Nobody moved after that ball went off the bat of Willie Garcia. You just watched the outfielders, Gio Morello, Mateo Porcelato, just kind of turn around and watch it fly out of the ballpark.
None of the outfielders moved, but a couple of kids right now hightailing it. There's 3 kids on the home run side of that left field fence, between the fence and Highway 26, trying to track down that baseball. Hopefully one of them will find it and give it to Willie. That'll be a nice keepsake tonight.
0-1 to Tristan Clark, a home run cut of his own, but he fouls it off.
I've always I never found out if anybody got Adam Odd's home run ball in Game 1 of the IBL Championship Series in right field.
I don't know either. That's a good question.
Never found out. That ball still might be out there. Who knows? I'm still not sure to this moment that it landed.
0-2 here on Tristan Clark. The pitch for Ortega. Caught and a miss. Foul tip into the glove. Strike 3. 1 down here in the 5th.
That's 4 of the last 5 batters down on strikes for Teo Ortega.
Third baseman number 26, Adam Odd.
He's pitching brilliantly tonight, just 2 hits. And unfortunately for Teo, one of them the long ball off the bat of Garcia.
Now Adam Odd will step in with 1 out. First pitch from Ortega, another home run cuts right through it. Oh, 1. Another one straight through it. 0-2.
Ortega with plenty of life on that fastball still here in this 5th inning.
And the nice thing for him, he gives up a home run, but he still doesn't have to have anyone on the base pass behind him. So basically a clean slate, just down by 1.
Yeah,
Adam Odd calls time.
Showing no signs of unraveling here. That's the hallmark of a good pitcher. You make one mistake, give up a long ball, settle right down, get the next one.
0-2 to Odd. Popped foul out of play on the left side. Elise Beltran waiting on deck. Great crowd here for a Thursday night. Jackfish and Baycats 1-0 for the home team here in the 5th inning. Ortega's pitch. Caught and a miss. Back-to-back Ks for the Jackfish starter.
Just an incredible pitching performance here by Ortega. 5 of the last 6 have gone down swinging. All swinging strike 3s.
7 total strikeouts for him through 4 2/3 as Lalise Beltran will step in. Fouled out to third his first time up.
This performance by Ortega today seems a lot like the kind of games we saw from Cesar Rosado last season. Just overpowering hitters with strikeouts.
Mentioned it earlier, Beltran, just 2 hits on this season so far, both of them home runs though. One of them against the Jackfish on the road, that went outside.
Now when he hits his second home run, I'm curious to see whether he's going to do that lean back on the bat again.
We talked about it earlier. I think it was just more of like how his follow through led to him about to start heading over to first base as he sees another one up high.
I don't know. That might be his substitute for the bat flip, his home run pose there. We'll see if he does it again.
It definitely has a flavor for the theatrics. But I wonder what he'll do if once he see a home run that has a bit more consequence than the other 2. Both of them coming late in what would end up being losses by Or, well, at least the second one was in Kitchener by a blowout win for the Baycats, but the second one was late in that Welland game. 2-1 the count. Pitch from Ortega. Cut and a miss from Beltran, 2-2.
Well, Ortega mixing up these pitches beautifully. Seems to like the fastball on 2 strikes. We'll see if he does that here.
I wonder if he'll start mixing in some of the breaking stuff as this game moves forward. 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. It's a ground ball to second. The throw on to first from Brandon Luther is in time. Baycats get the opening run of the game. A huge home run from Willie Garcia. They take a 1-0 lead into the 6th inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
Top of the 6th inning at Athletic Kulture Stadium. About time we check in with Maddie Gale.
Thanks, Julius. One player to definitely note tonight is Jake Sanford, who played D1 at Western Kentucky and is now a major part of Welland's lineup. Sanford played for the Canadian national baseball team and went to Argentina with them for the Pan Am Game qualifiers 2 years ago. Before the game, he told me how much he enjoyed this experience. He said if he gets the chance to do it again, he would love going to the 40-man tryout for the World Baseball Classic and being a part of this team once again.
Thank you very much, Maddie. Jake Sanford, a highly accomplished baseball career and former New York Yankees prospect, a 3rd-round pick by them. And also a very accomplished college career as he lines that one into right field, a base hit. The leadoff man is on for Welland.
So how about this? We're in the 6th inning and the sky still isn't dark yet. It's smoky, it's hazy, but we still don't have a dark sky. And we're going to get a couple more weeks of that prolonged late evening daylight to enjoy before the days start getting shorter again.
Yeah, take it in, folks. We're not going to see a game this late on a Thursday night with this much light, at least.
This is actually a very comfortable night at the ballpark. Despite the poor air quality, everything else is perfect right now. Nice temperature, no mosquitoes. Just really, this is a perfect night. Other than the smog, if that bothers you, I can see that being an issue, but not as bad as I think with no wind factor tonight, it's kind of helped out a little bit.
Absolutely. One-0 here, Rosado to Robert Mullen. That one inside, 2-0. Bell trying to chase that one down. Sanford luckily wasn't really set to go to second base, so he holds it first.
This is a ballpark that tends to go from chilly temperatures to mosquitoes almost overnight. And we're really lucky to kind of get that nice bit of transition time between the two here.
We saw it last Thursday with Baycats playing the Barnstormers and how chilly that night was. We saw players with 3 layers on in the dugout.
I think we were down to 10 degrees at one point that game.
We were. Mullen swings through that one. It's 2-1. Mullen walked in the second, stranded at third, and struck out looking by Rosado. One of 2 Ks on the night for Rosado so far. Sanford the lead at first, doesn't go. The pitch is outside.
Jackfish bullpen quiet, Baycat bullpen quiet too, although a little bit of stretching going on down there. It's been a great performance tonight by both of these pitchers.
Welland 3 hits, Barrie 2. 1-0 for the Baycats here in the 6th. Rosado to Mullen, the 3-1. Inside, it hits him square in the chest, it looks like. Jackfish trainer rushing out immediately to help out their catcher. That pitch really got away from Rosado right out of his hand.
Just above the rib cage, it looked like, and that's not a nice place to take a fastball. And he'll take a moment just to hand off his gloves and his bat. Looks like he'll stay in and is fine and gets a nice hand from the crowd.
So Mullen on first, Sanford on second. Definitely scary there for Jackfish fans. Their catcher being the biggest piece of their offense thus far in this now 7-game season.
Dangerous hitter to the plate now in Porcelato. Fielder's choice and a walk. 2 on. Another jam for Cesar Rosado here.
Looking for his first hit of the season. Just signed a couple days ago. Back for another season with the Jackfish.
Rosado's had base runners to deal with tonight every inning except the 3rd.
So 2 on behind him. Nobody out. Porcelato shows bunt, takes a strike.
Yeah, definitely a possibility here in this situation, especially in a close, low-scoring game.
And you know with Porcelato, he's got great speed. If he places a bunt well enough, he might be able to turn that into a base hit.
Nobody out, and the corner infielders are ready. Macabrota 2 feet on the grass.
And Adam Odd just ahead of the infield turf at third, but he's got to watch that bag with Sanford on second. Another showed bunt. That one's inside. It's 1-1.
Sometimes when the bunt is a possibility, you'll see the pitcher keep the ball up in the zone, maybe try to induce a pop-up, keep him from laying that ball down on the ground.
Starting to see some action now in the Baycats bullpen. Looks like Chris Lazar is starting to throw. Got the loss in the previous matchup between these two, but a lot of unearned runs in that game leading to his decision.
Macabrota about 3 steps in now on the grass on the right side.
1-1 inside, and it hits him. Back-to-back hit batsman for Cesar Rosado, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. Some costly and risky pitches out of the hand of Rosado, and we'll have another mound visit, the second of the game for the Baycats. There's Chris Lazar warming up. And a nearly full infield mound visit, as now Macabrota will come in, so a full infield mound visit with third base coach Andrew White out there to talk.
A very dangerous situation here for the Baycats in this ball game, as Welland, for the first time, have the bases loaded with nobody out. They loaded the bases earlier in this game, but this is the first time that they've had a bases loaded no-out situation. And a discussion here about how they want to handle anything that's hit on the ground. In a 1-0 game, do you get the force out at home plate? Do you try to turn the double play? Still nobody out. Definitely they want to stop that runner at third from coming home to score.
Jackfish hit .370 with the bases loaded last season. Brandon Hupe had 5 of those at-bats, hit .400.
Right fielder number 21, Brandon Hupe.
So 2 for 5 Hupe last year with the bases loaded. A huge opportunity for Welland to get on the board and or take the lead. First pitch from Rosado. Outside.
Well, if there was ever a time for Rosado to bear down and get a strikeout, this is it right here. Bases loaded, nobody out. You have to throw strikes.
The infield is playing in for Barrie. They're going to try and cut that run down at home plate on a ground ball. Here's the 1-0. Called first strike, 1-1.
Good pitch by Rosado right on the outside corner. Hoope taking all the way.
And that's what he needs that breaking stuff to do, Rosado. Fastballs, obviously those two hit batsmen getting a little bit too far inside both times in the fastball. Infield creeping in, 1-1. Cut and a miss.
Went back to the fastball with one strike. And it's a 1-2 count now to Hoope.
A huge pitch there for Cesar Rosado. Getting to 2 strikes. Changed the course of that at bat. Chris Lazar starting to throw a bit more at game speed in the bullpen. Nobody out, 1-2, bases loaded. Rosado's pitch. Popped up, looks to be playable. Slicing towards the right side, foul territory, and Macabrota makes the catch for a valuable first out.
Yeah, so crucial with nobody out in the inning, and that will set up the double play situation now. Macabrota played that well. Not an easy catch with the sky as it is right now. Still not completely dark, and we've got that smoky haze to deal with.
Yeah, right around this time of night, whether there's the haze, clouds, clear sky, it's the hardest time to catch a baseball because it's kind of the twilight hour, so to speak.
The one thing that's good, it's not like a low-hanging fog. So, like, we do see some fog here in Barrie quite a bit, especially this time of year, but most of that smog and haze seems to be well above ground level.
Grayson Barrett grounded out his first 2 times up. First pitch from Rosado is a called strike. Porcelato at first, Mullen at second, Sanford at third. First 3 reaching on Rosado, a single and 2 hit by pitches.
Rosado seems really dialed in since that mound visit.
The 0-1 is low.
Try to get him to chase one there, and a good take by Barrett. 0 for 2 tonight, but if he can put one in play, it could be the biggest hit of the night for the Jackfish.
Time is called by Rosado, tying his shoelace. Macabrota playing in on the infield turf in front of the runner, Porcelato. Rest of the infield at regular double play depth.
Manager Josh Matlow likes to get every out of his starters that he can, and oftentimes will leave them in to fight their way out of these battles. You have to think Rosado's probably coming near the end of the limit here tonight with Lazar getting ready quickly in that bullpen, but the plan here is to leave him in and get him out of the 6th inning.
The entire Baycats bench up to the top step of the dugout, awaiting this 1-1. Rosado to Barrett. Up and away.
Two on the count now. That last pitch high and outside.
Rosado stranded the bases loaded earlier in the 4th. That inning starting with a Gio Morello single. And then Barrett in that inning was the last out on a 6-3 ground out.
These runners can take some pretty healthy leads too, with the infielders playing in just a little bit. Nobody really holding them on. Barrett could do some damage if he can put one in play here.
So Barrett up for the second time with the bases loaded on a 2-1 count against Cesar Rosado. 1 out. Macabrota creeps in from first. The pitch is fouled away.
Another big 2-strike pitch coming up here for Cesar Rosado. That's just 2 strikeouts tonight.
Unlike Rosado, but again, early on the season, we didn't really start to see the double-digit strikeout games till later on. But right here is where you need a ground out. Brandon Luther on deck. 1 out, bases loaded for Grayson Barrett. Rosado deals. Breaking ball in there and not got the call. Lots of displeasure from the home crowd at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Luis Beltran couldn't believe it either.
I got to tell you, I had KL written on my scorebook, and definitely looked like a called third strike, but Barrett taking all the way, and Rosado not getting the call from Jared Merkley.
Looked like a well-placed breaking ball. It now is a full count. 3-2 on Barrett. 1 out. Bases loaded. Rosado's pitch. Fastball. Line into left field. A base hit. In to score is Sanford. An RBI single for Grayson Barrett ties this game at 1.
Barrett making Rosado pay after not getting that third strike call.
Number 20, Brandon
Huge hit for the first baseman, driving in Jake Sanford with the first run of the game for the Jackfish. And the bases remain loaded.
Well, that third ball called really changed the course of that at-bat. It ends up costing Rosado an earned run.
You hate to see the inning unravel. Let's hope that's not the case if you're a Baycats fan.
Tristan Clark got that ball back into the infield quick enough, so the runners only go station to station. Brandon Luther up, first pitch is inside.
Well, let's keep in mind with that third strike potentially missed call. If you're a Baycat fan, you're probably thinking that way. Still just 1 out in the inning, though. So that wouldn't have been an inning-ending strikeout. Still some work to be done here for Rosado. Would have been nice to have, but you would still have to face this man with the bases loaded.
Luther 0 for 2 tonight. Fly out and a ground out. Rosado's delivery. And a big cut and a miss from Luther.
Fastball looks good. It's got some life on it still, even here in this 6th inning.
You can tell the command has gotten a lot better after that mound visit from Andrew White. Really reset him. 1-1 ball game now, Jackfish and Baycats. Rosado's delivery. Check swing, but a called strike. Brandon Luther now down on the count 1-2. Barrett at first, Portolato at second, Robert Mullen at third. Still just 1 out, but 2 strikes on Luther. Rosado's pitch, fouled away.
Left-handed hitter on deck, Josh Marchese. It'll be interesting to see if they leave Rosado in to face the number 9 hitter, or bring in the lefty Lazar, who should be ready by now.
Yeah, Lazar looks about ready. He's been throwing since the second runner of this inning got on and Robert Mullen after that first hit batsman.
This could be Rosado's last batter either way. We'll see.
Top 6, 1 out. Bases loaded. Long look in here from Rosado. He finally comes set, but Luther calls time.
Rosado was cruising right along heading into this 6th inning. A single, 2 hit batters, and then the RBI single by Grayson Barrett to tie this game up 1-1. Biggest challenge of the ball game for the Dominican thus far.
Luther, the rookie, awaits a 1-2. In the dirt, nice block from Luis Beltran. That might have saved a run. Robert Mullen was ready to sprint home.
We don't have a pitch count on Rosado, but if it's getting up there, the last thing you want right now is a wild pitch or another hit batter. Nowhere to put this number 8 hitter, Braden Luther.
Brings the count to 2-2. Fans getting behind their Baycats starter. 2-2 from Rosado. On the ground to first base. Macabrota goes home. It's in time. They won't have it to play elsewhere. But they cut down the run. There's 2 down. 2 down.
Definitely the right play by Nolan Macabrota. I know you're thinking double play in that situation, but there was no way that they were going to turn 2, especially with Macabrota being in that far They cut down the runner at home, and
Designated hitter number
that was the right
34,
move.
Joshua Marchese.
So they'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Marchese. Luther reaches on the fielder's choice. Bases remain loaded with 2 down.
That could have been a game-saving play.
McAbrota made it look easy. Lots of relax and poise on his end. The infielders move back to regular depth.
And as an infielder, you've got to be thinking about what's going to happen in every situation. In a bases loaded situation like that, how many outs are there? If the ball's hit to me, where am I going to go?
Breaking ball called a strike on Marchese. The haze has really started to settle in here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Sun is down, the lights are on. Bases loaded against Cesar Rosado. The pitch is outside.
I was wondering if this smog is going to kind of lower a little bit once the humidity goes up and the temperature drops down. Sometimes you get a little more moisture in the air, and that can kind of lower that poor air that thus far has been well above field level, but it may start to descend a little bit as we go through the late innings here.
Marchese 0 for 2 tonight, one of only 2 strikeout victims for Cesar Rosado. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball, looping curveball, and a wave and a miss for Marchese.
Have to think this will probably be Rosado's last batter either way. Either he gets him here or Chris Lazar would come in, because we're back to the top of the order after Marchese. It would be Jonah Weisner's 4th look at Cesar Rosado. I'd be very surprised if he stays in.
Jared Merkley correcting the count. It's 2-2. So he gave him a ball in the count because Rosado has been licking his hand as he tries to settle in with the baseball. Usually you have to lick and then wipe your pants first before you get to the baseball again. 2-2. No appeal. Ball is called outside.
Yeah, that pitch was up in the zone. Did they appeal to second or no?
They did not appeal.
He did not ask for an appeal, at least that we could see. So a 3-2 count now.
Runners will be off on the pitch. 3-2, 2 out. Bases loaded. Rosado comes set. Marchese ready. Here's the pitch. Inside. Did he go? No, he did not. It's a bases loaded walk.
Beltran taking his mask off in frustration, and Rosado clearly agitated as well. Josh Matlow is going to come out here probably with the hook in his hand, and he may have a word for umpire Jared Merkley as well. We'll see. He's already signaled to the bullpen.
Rosado has words for him too.
That'll do it for Rosado. He is hot under the collar. One way or another, he is out of this ball game. If Josh Matlow doesn't get the hook, he'll get the heave-ho, I would think, from home plate umpire Jared Merkley at this point.
Still words being exchanged between Merkley and a couple players in the Baycats. The infielders are in as well.
Well, this is where you really need to be careful. It's still a 2-1 ball game. You don't want anyone getting ejected. Looks like the pitching change is going to happen regardless, but Jared Merkley saying, I've had enough. I don't want to hear any more. And now he goes out to the mound.
More words from Rosado as he comes out off the playing field. Lazar is going to be the next pitcher, and a lot of words now between Matlow and Merkley.
Matlow was waiting for Merkley to come out to the mound so that he could get a sentence or two in on his way back to the dugout, and that'll do it for Cesar Rosado tonight.
So new pitcher in the ball game will be Christian Lazar, and he comes in with the bases loaded, 2 out. We'll have more on him in just a moment right here on Baycats TV. Top of the 6th inning, 2 outs. 8th batter of the inning coming up here for the Welland Jackfish. A new pitcher is former Jackfish Christian Lazar.
Yeah, and a great chance for the Jackfish to blow this lead open with the bases loaded. They're on top for the first time in this game by a score of 2-1. The walk to Josh Marchese prolonging this inning, and one of those 4 balls was as a result of Baycats pitcher Cesar Rosado going to his mouth, licking his fingers and not wiping them off.
Yeah, as our producer Brian Backland telling us, you can lick outside the circle of the rubber. Once you're on the rubber, you can't do that.
We call that the Brad Marchand rule, no licking.
So Lazar's first pitch to leadoff man Jonah Weisner is a called strike. Weisner 0 for 3 so far, reached on an error in the 5th. And he lines that one into center field. It will get down in front of Noel McGarry-Doyle. 1 run is in, another one coming around, and it is now a 4-1 Jackfish lead.
Weisner just got a hold of one and hit a solid line drive into center field, bringing in 2. And here we go now with the Jackfish on top by 3. 4-1 now. This inning starting to unravel on the Baycats.
4 runs in the inning for the Jackfish, against all of them being charged to Cesar Rosado. Still 1 on his record with Marchese at 3rd. 9th batter of the inning now for Welland, it's Gio Morello. Jonah Weisner extending his hit streak to 31 games with that one there.
Truly remarkable.
First pitch to Morello's fouled off. It was a 4-run inning in Welland the first time these teams matched up this year that eventually gave Welland the win. It was a 9-3 victory for the Jackfish in that one.
Well, the Jackfish tend to do that. They can hang even with you through the first half of the game and then just get that 1 or 2 big innings to pull away and build a sizable lead, and that's what they're working on here now, up 4-1. The 9th batter in this inning, Gio Morello, in here to face Christian Lazar.
Yeah, Christian Lazar's only outing earlier this year, as time is called, was that 2-inning outing in Welland. He ends up getting the loss, gave up 8 hits, 5 runs, only 2 of them earned. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He allowed a huge home run in that game as well. The 0-1 pitch to Morello is again fouled off.
Long stretch without pitching for Teo Ortega as well. Be interesting to see if he comes out to work the top of the 7th. He was cruising along tonight.
Haven't seen any action in the Jackfish bullpen, so I'm assuming here for the bottom of the 6th that it will still be Ortega. Runner goes, and another foul ball back to the screen off the bat of Morello.
Look at Ryan Rios, the bat boy now.
Good idea putting the runner in motion there in that situation. They've been testing Beltran's arm all night.
And I doubt, especially after the last throw that kind of got away from Francisco Hernandez, that he's going to throw down. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Weisner here. He keeps inching out against the lefty.
Especially with a runner at 3rd.
0-2. Called strike 3. Lazar gets out of it. The strikeout brought to you by IMP North. But the Jackfish take the lead. A 4-run inning has them up 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning right here on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca.
Well, just the battery, not the whole one.
Bottom of the sixth inning is brought to you by Moving.ca. Two small men with big hearts moving, your original Canadian two-men movers. When you think two men, think with big hearts, your Canadian choice.
Francisco Hernandez, number 9 hitter to lead it off for the Barrie Baycats, now down by 3. It's a 4-1 Jackfish lead. First pitch, he shows bunt, pulls away, and has to call the ball. Teodoro Ortega back out for his 6th inning of work after a long layoff. A 9-batter inning for the Jackfish has them up 4-1. Jake Sanford still playing in at third base. One pitch. Up high.
Just one other game in the IBL tonight. Jack Couch Park in Kitchener postponed due to poor field conditions and poor air quality. So those two factors combined, resulting in a postponed game between the Hamilton Cardinals and the Kitchener Panthers tonight.
2-1 to Hernandez. Is a fly ball. Center field back. And making the catch is Gio Morello. So 1 down for the Baycats.
Well, Teo Ortega just keeps cruising along, and even after that long layoff in the dugout, the Jackfish jumping out with a 4-run top half of the inning. Looks to still have good command and control here in this bottom of the 6th. Settled down nicely after the home run to Willie Garcia. Got a pair of strikeouts and a ground ball. And a fly ball here to start the bottom of the 6th.
First pitch to McGarry Doyle is flown foul off the light pole down the left field line. McGarry Doyle has the only other hit for the Baycats in this game, a leadoff single in the 4th. He was eventually stranded. And Ben, you mentioned that huge home run by Willie Garcia. Breaking ball inside.
Our next game here at home 1 week from tonight against the Brantford Red Sox. Who would have thought it would be the Baycats and the Red Sox battling to stay out of the basement in the IBL standings?
There's a deep drive, left field. Back at the track, it is gone! Noel McGarry Doyle, first home run of the season, and the Baycats cut the deficit in half.
When you're hot, you don't miss your pitch. McGarry Doyle saw one he liked, gave it a ride over the left field wall. What can you say about the Baycats leadoff hitter? Off to an outstanding start here in 2025, and he'll wear the home run chain into the Baycat dugout.
Multiple hits in all 3 home games for him so far this season. And that home run has surely gotten the energy back into that Baycats dugout. Now I'll bring up Brandon Hernandez. 2 strikeouts against Ortega in this game, and he is hit on the leg with that pitch, and he is in some pain.
It went right off of bone, and I think it was the right knee. First pitch after the home run by McGarry Doyle, and that has the crowd gasping here. Brandon Hernandez, 2 strikeouts tonight and a fastball right off I think the outside of that right knee.
Yeah, he's struggling to get up. That is very scary for him and for Baycats fans.
I assume Francisco will go to shortstop next inning.
Looks like he wants to go to first base, and I don't know if that's a good decision here.
He wants to at least touch the bag. I'm sure that out of pure caution, he's going to get a pinch runner.
Yeah, he hasn't put his foot on the bag yet. Someone needs to tell him to do that if he's going to stay in the game. just walking down that right field line gingerly, and yeah, it looked like he was having a hard time putting any weight on that right leg at first. He wants to walk it off. The Jackfish taking advantage of the timeout here with a mound visit. Brian Essery to talk to Teo Ortega.
A lot of fans here at the ballpark thinking that was intentional possibly, but no sense of that from either dugout. Brief mound visit there for the Welland Jackfish as they'll reset it. Looks like Hernandez is going to try and stay in this game. Still trying to bend that knee. You mentioned it, Ben. That one went right off Bo, and the deflection off of him. He's going to try and run down that right field line.
Well, on the bench, you have Noah Hall, Malik Williams. A couple of options if Hernandez needs to leave the game. They're giving him plenty of time, though.
It looks like he's going to stay in this game. So the scary thoughts there for the Baycats, at least averted for now. Brandon Hernandez staying in this game, at least for the time being, at first base after being hit by the pitch. So one out, runner on first. That ball called a strike.
It's still only the 7th inning, too, so interesting to see whether Hernandez can, or bottom of the 6th inning, excuse me. Still a lot of baseball left to go. It'll be interesting to see if Hernandez can stay in to finish it out.
Ortega 0-1 to Nolan Macabrota. Struck out against him in the 4th, 0 for 2. Just the second time a base runner is on against Ortega. He's allowed 4 to reach, but 2 of those were home runs. It's not a whole lot of times pitching out of the stretch in this game. One. Oh, Macabrota late on that one.
Really incredible to watch Brandon Hernandez at first base right now. The fact that he's even moving around out there at all.
He's a strong player.
Looks like he has pretty good mobility. Taking a normal-sized lead.
He's inching out further from that first base bag. I don't think he'll go here, and he doesn't. Macabrota fouls it off.
An injury like that, if you're going to stay in the game, you want to keep moving and keep that thing from swelling up.
That's why it was so important for him to run down that right field line after he got past first base. And
yeah, like I said, you still have 3 innings to go after this.
1 and 2 here on Macabrota. Up and away. Lots of room on that left side between short and third yet again for the Baycats lefties. Ryan Rio on deck as well. Ortega's pitch, caught and a miss. Another strikeout for Ortega, 2 down.
Well, you just can't say enough about the way Ortega has pitched here tonight.
Designated hitter number 27.
Gave up the home run to Noel McGarry-Doyle. Hit Brandon Hernandez with a pitch and then strikes out Nolan Macabrota. Some of these fans, we should say it, some of these fans here at the Athletic Kulture Stadium thought it was no coincidence that Hernandez was drilled on the first pitch after that home run by Noel McGarry-Doyle. Whether there's anything to that or not, we have no way of knowing, but...
Mentioned it right after it kind of happened. There was some discussion as that pitch is outside. No real reaction from either dugout, especially the Baycats, who I would imagine if anyone was to think that was the case, it would be them.
Certainly don't want to think that that's the case, but if the Baycats retaliate in the top of the 7th inning, you know there will be something to that.
Well, definitely in that situation, more concern for a star player as opposed to there being beef. So Ryan Rio up, 1-0 pitch. And home run cut. He waves through it.
Yeah, swinging for Highway 26 there. If you're Rio, you need to just keep this inning alive. 2 outs. Try to put the ball in play here.
9 strikeouts on the game so far for Teo Ortega. Just 3 hits for the Baycats, but 2 of them long balls. Another wave and a miss from Rio. That one down low. Rio struck out to end the 4th. Grounded out to third earlier in the 2nd. 1-2, Hernandez the leadoff first. Ortega's pitch, ground ball up the middle, tough play and a sliding grab, but no play at either bag for the Jackfish. A nice effort there from Brandon Luther, but Rio will extend this inning with an infield hit.
Well, Ortega clearly had a chance to glove that ball, and I'm not sure why he didn't. His glove hand wasn't fully extended. It kind of looked like he decided to just leave it and let the middle infield handle it, but if he had a glove that would have been an easy out at first base for Ortega to end this inning.
Hits in 6 straight now for Ryan Rio. There was action earlier in the Jackfish bullpen. It was James Bradwell pitching. It looks for the moment that's going to be it for Teo Ortega, and it is. James Bradwell coming into this game, a man that knows this ballpark very well from the 2023 championship. We'll have more on him in just a moment. 2 on, 2 out for Willie Garcia when we come back on Baycats TV. Welcome back. Bottom of the 6th inning, 2 out, 2 on. A new pitcher in the ball game for the Welland Jackfish. Very familiar to this ballpark is James Bradwell.
Bradwell, 26 years old, from Roberts Creek, British Columbia, and he'll make his 3rd appearance of the season, all in relief. 5 innings of work coming into tonight. Has 1 unearned run to his name, 8 strikeouts and 3 walks.
Started Game 6 of the 2023 IBL Finals at this ballpark, was the winning pitcher, and earned himself playoff MVP for the 2023 IBL playoffs, en route to the Jackfish's first championship. And Willie Garcia steps in against him. The first pitch is outside. Bradwell went 5-0 in the playoffs that year in 5 appearances, a 1.02 ERA, 39 strikeouts, and just 8 walks. An absolutely dominant postseason run for him. The 1-0 slash foul right side. Hard hit ball from Garcia.
Well, the Baycats have struggled for base runners tonight. They have 2 solo home runs, both of them with the bases empty, one of them off the bat of this man, Willie Garcia. A nice opportunity for him here with a couple of men on and 2 out here in this bottom of the 6th.
Brian Essery mentioned to me pregame that they're still trying to stretch out Bradwell. He was signed fairly late. He signed with Staten Island of the Atlantic League, but had some visa issues and wasn't able to play pro ball, at least for the time being. So he's back with the Jackfish for now. I mentioned 2 prior relief appearances, this being his 3rd now. So eventually going to be a starter for this team. It's just a matter of when.
One thing we've seen with Garcia this season, he does have a tendency to chase bad pitches, especially outside. A home run cut on a ball way off the plate there.
He's down to his last strike. It's 1-2, 2 on, 2 out. And a late cut and a miss. James Bradwell gets out of the frame for the Jackfish, but Noel McGarry Doyle's home run puts the Barrie Baycats within 2. We head to the 7th inning. Ben Davy back on the mic for you on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
The 7th inning of play is brought
Here come
to
the
you
Welland
by
Jackfish in the
Beer.
top of the 7th
Real
inning. After
Real.
sending 9 men to the plate in the 6th, they will face Chris Lazar and a 4-2 lead here at Athletic Kulture Stadium.
At bat for the Welland Jackfish, third baseman number 13, Jake Sanford.
Jake Sanford to the plate. He is 1 for 3 tonight.
Chris Lazar back out for his first full inning of work. Lefty on lefty matchup.
Got Gio Morello to strike out to mercifully bring that 6th inning to an end. 4 Welland runs in that top half of the 6th. Cesar Rosado really struggled. 94 pitches tonight. A single, couple of hit batters, and then an RBI from Grayson Barrett off what the Baycats thought should have been a called strike 3. This one lined over the first baseman, down the right field line. It's a base hit. Big wide turn. But back is Sanford. He's aboard for the 2nd time tonight.
Great job defensively there from Willie Garcia. That ball looked like it was going to get deep into the corner, but he cuts it off nicely, and a perfect throw to the cutoff man, Francisco Hernandez, to hold Sanford to a single.
No complaints about his defense so far this season, that's for sure. His range to his left has been very good. And we've seen that before this season. He gets over to that line in a hurry and has a outstanding arm. Got that ball in quickly to make sure Sanford couldn't get an extra base. This one hits a third, odd, to second for 1. The relay to first, a bouncer, and it's in time for the double play. That's about the 3rd or 4th bouncer that Macabroda has had to handle tonight.
Very nicely done. It was Adam Ott took a lot of time getting that ball to second, and Sanford, old school play, trying to slide in to break up that double play, and it kind of almost worked. The throw going very low to Macabroda, but very good defensively himself, was able to scoop that up and hold on to it for the 2nd out.
So Robert Mullen, who we talked about in our intro, 0 for 2 tonight with a walk and a hit batter. Mateo Porcelato now with 2 outs.
Porcelato only 0 for 1, a walk and a hit by pitch himself. Scored in the last inning. Final line on Jackfish starter Teo Ortega, 5 2/3, 9 strikeouts, just 4 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks. Those only runs came on the 2 home runs he allowed to Garcia and McGarry Doyle.
90 pitches tonight. Kind of felt lower than that with all those strikeouts he got. Pitched very efficiently this evening.
In line for another win.
Lazar misses down, and the count is 2-1. Lazar with just 2 innings of work, 1 appearance coming into tonight. 2 earned runs in those 2 innings. 2-1. Misses again. It's a 3-1 count. Lazar in his second year with the Baycats after overcoming an injury.
There is action in the Baycats bullpen. I believe it's the lefty Ethan Morris warming up.
Called strike 3 on the outside corner. That'll do it. The strikeout for IMP North, and it's a 3-up, 3-down. 7th inning for Chris Lazar and the Barrie Baycats. Stretch time here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. And a 4-2 Jackfish lead. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Seventh inning of play brought to you by Sleeman Beer. Real ones know.
James Bradwell and the Jackfish will face the Barrie Baycats here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Tristan Clark, Adam Hahn, and Elise Beltran due up, with the Baycats trailing by 2. Just 4 hits in this game. Got a couple of runners on in the 6th inning, but couldn't convert, aside from a solo home run by Noel McGarry Doyle. Bradwell got a big strikeout, Willie Garcia, to end the threat in the 6th. Bradwell's first pitch, it's a line drive down the line, foul over near the Barrie bullpen.
Bradwell didn't play in the IBL last year. He played in the Frontier League and was absolutely dominant, 12-0 with a 2.72 ERA and 23 appearances, earning himself Frontier League Pitcher of the Year.
12-0.
Pitched 109 innings.
In a high-level league like the Frontier League, that's an outstanding season.
He contributed to a championship for the Quebec Capitals, their 3rd in a row.
1-1 pitch. Fouled over the screen. These teams meet again a week from Saturday, 4:05, first pitch here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. So 3 games early in this season between these two clubs.
Yeah, with only 5 on the season between these two, those wins are going to be valuable in what might be a close pennant race should the Baycats get back on track offensively. So far, it seems like the powers in this league are obviously the Jackfish, two-time defending pennant winners, but also the London Majors have looked very well. They were also undefeated until the Jackfish beat them. And we saw Hamilton twice last week.
Jackfish off to a 6-0 start, and back-to-back years now that Welland has faced Barrie for their home opener, and they beat the Baycats both times. 9-3 this year on May 17th. Last year they got their first win at home over Barrie, and that was also the night they celebrated their 2023 championship trophy. So there's another Baycat hit by a pitch. Tristan Clark, and he'll toss his equipment aside and advance to first. I don't think anyone's intentionally hitting anyone in a 2-run game.
Absolutely not. No reaction by any dugout. We haven't seen any warnings, but I guess there's no need to in that sense.
Third baseman number 26, Adam Odd.
Adam Odd representing the tying run now in this bottom of the 7th inning. It's interesting how the way the schedule is, it's Toronto here for the Baycats home opener year after year, and Welland seems to be getting Barrie on the schedule for their home opener 2 seasons in a row now.
Definitely seems to be intentional, I think.
Swing and a miss by Odd. Home run cut, 0-1.
Andrew Johnston is on deck. Looks like he'll be pinch hitting for Lelise Beltran, just acquired a day ago from the Hamilton Cardinals.
Jackfish with wins over Hamilton, London, Chatham-Kent, and 2 over Brantford, in addition to their win over the Baycats. And this one to short. Nice grab and a throw to second in time for the force out. So 1 out in the inning.
Adam Odd hit that on a laser. A very nice play from Jonah Weisner. He kind of went down low and snagged that kind of just above his body. Very nice play. Keep that on the infield and get the force.
So a fielder's choice gets Adam Odd aboard with 1 out. Weisner to Luther to retire the force out at second base. And here's Johnston, the pinch hitter. Swing and a miss.
Johnston, 21 career IBL games, just acquired from the Hamilton Cardinals a couple days ago. Fills the spot of Zach Orchard, who was put on the inactive list earlier this week.
On the ground, past the pitcher. Second baseman up with it, makes the throw to first in time. Luther to Barrett. Runner advances, 2 away now. So Odd to second. The number 9 hitter, Francisco Hernandez, comes to the plate. He is on fire after going 1 for his first 14. 0 for 2 tonight.
Teodoro Ortega, incredible performance, 9 strikeouts for him through 5 2/3.
4-2 Jackfish. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch. Hit weakly to the mound. Scooped up by Bradwell. Makes the throw. Plenty of time for the 3rd out of the inning, and that will do it. Baycats strand a runner. We've played 7. 4-2 Jackfish at Athletic Kulture Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV, Rogers TV in Barrie.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Top of the 8th inning. Welland Jackfish on top by a score of 4-2. Chris Lazar back out to work for the Baycats.
I imagine this will be the last inning of work here for Chris Lazar. I don't imagine he's going to go any more than what might end up being 2 1/3 for him. They saw Ethan Morris, another lefty, in the bullpen earlier for Barrie.
I know these fans would absolutely love to see Morris make his home debut. He pitched in that Kitchener game and threw 5 brilliant innings. 6 strikeouts, no walks, only 1 unearned run.
Baycats pitchers didn't allow a walk in that game overall, which was very impressive.
First pitch from Lazar, called strike. Lupe, Barrett, and Luther for the Jackfish in the 8th. Swing and a miss. Public address announcer Rob Daniels reminding us between innings that Thursday night's game will be an alumni night here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. So bring your autograph book, get your camera ready for some photos. I'm sure some of these guys will be happy to meet and greet the fans. Lots of celebratory events happening throughout the season in honor of the Baycats' 25 seasons in the Intercounty Baseball League.
25th year in the IBL.
25th season. Right?
24th season. Keep in mind, 2020 did not happen.
You're really going to mess with my brain. I'll have to count on my fingers and toes. 2001, 2002. Oh, you're right. Strike 3, brought to you by IMP North. So it'll be 25 seasons at the conclusion of this season.
Next year will be the 25th season.
Next year will.
This is the 25th year of the franchise, but not the 25th season.
Oh my goodness. I'll need a couple more cups of coffee to figure that out.
On another note, Ben, Chris Lazar now has more strikeouts than Cesar Rosado.
That is a statistic that most fans would not have predicted. No disrespect to Lazar, but if you look at the strikeout totals Rosado put up last season. Triple digits.
Keep in mind now, Andrew Johnston in the catch after pinch hitting for Lelise Beltran.
That one get a piece of him? I think it did. Another hit batter.
Yeah, right off the elbow
Just
guard.
off the, yeah. Inside pitch. Just caught a piece of him.
Hey, that elbow guard seems to help. Barrett, really no reaction. Just like gets hit and tosses the bat aside like it was nothing. So obviously he's feeling okay, and that elbow guard really works for a lot of these guys.
So you one of these guys that insists that the millennium didn't start in the year 2000? It was 2001? Or?
No, it's not about that. It's not about that. The millennium started 2000, but 2020, the season, did not happen.
Oh, okay. You're skipping the COVID. Yeah, of course, of course.
So,
well, that kind of makes it a little bit of a tricky technicality, I guess, when you look at it that way. It is the 25th year for this organization.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's the 25.
On the ground, a second. Nice play by Hernandez. Can't come up with it, though. It gets by him, and it goes into center field.
An all-out effort there from Francisco Hernandez. Just played great defense so far at second base, but that one just out of the reach of him.
Designated hitter number 34, Joshua Marchese.
Yeah, 1 out in the inning. 2 on for the Jackfish. Josh Marchese to the plate. Marchese tonight 0 for 2 and drew a walk in the 6th.
And that walk occurring with the bases loaded, too. The last batter that Cesar Rosado faced.
Middle infield, ready for the ground ball. Double play depth, the Hernandez brothers.
See Ethan Morris throwing once again in the Baycats pen.
Fouled off at home plate. It's a 1-1 count. Brandon Hernandez still in this game at shortstop after taking a fastball off the outside of the knee. Lazar's ready. Kick, steals. Call, strike two. Lazar got a big strikeout to end the 6th, a strikeout to end the 7th, and a strikeout here to lead off the 8th. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he deals 4 strikeouts in the game for Christian Lazar. Brought to you by IMP North. And there's 2 away with 2 on here.
Shortstop number 4, Jonah Weisner.
This game was scoreless prior to a solo home run by Willie Garcia in the 5th. Welland responded with 4 in the top half of the 6th inning. Noel McGarry-Doyle with a solo shot to make it a 4-2 game. So all of the Baycat offense tonight coming by way of the long ball with 2 solo home runs.
All of Welland's runs coming in that 4-run 6th. 2 of them off the bat of this man, Jonah Weisner.
Weisner fouls it off the screen. It's 0-2.
Everybody clap your hands.
Fans trying to help Christian Lazar out here as he looks for a big 3rd strike. Jonah Weisner in an 0-2 count, 2 out in the inning. Here's the pitch from Lazar. And it's low. Blocked by Johnson at home plate. Johnson taking over for Lilise Beltran. Handling catching duties for the first time as a Barrie Baycat. Barrett the lead at second. Luther at first. 2 out in the inning. And now time is called. Weisner steps out. And now he's ready. And the crowd will get into it once again. Lefty-lefty matchup. 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. That strikeout for IMP North. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Christian Lazar, and some brilliant relief work from the Baycat left-hander here tonight. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Baycats down by 2 on Rogers TV and Baycats TV.
Thinking about doing a renovation, but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game, hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Barrie Baycats Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game.
Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca.
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Eighth inning of play brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
Top of the order again for the Baycats. third time tonight that the Baycats will send up the top of the order, in order, 1, 2, 3. Noel McGarry-Doyle, Brandon Hernandez, Nolan Macabrota. McGarry-Doyle tonight with a strikeout, a single, and a solo home run. James Bradwell back out for another inning of work for the Jackfish. Shows bunt on the first pitch, lays it down the line. Fair ball, picked up, the throw over, not in time. Not much of a chance for Jake Sanford.
Just a perfect play there from Noel McGarry-Doyle. Sanford wasn't expecting it, the third baseman. Places it perfectly down the line in between the chalk and the turf. And his speed, that definitely was going to be a single all day long, and Stanford wasn't able to get to it soon enough.
Brandon Hernandez now. Two strikeouts tonight before he was hit in the knee. And in his familiar stance, you wouldn't even know that he was hit by a pitch earlier in this ball game. Bradwell kicks and deals. Call strike. That's a 1-1 count.
3 hits now in the game for McGarry-Doyle, including that 6th inning home run.
Let's see if they put him in motion here, try to stay out of the double play. Had several attempts earlier in this game when he singled in the 4th inning. And this one hit on the ground, and it's through into center field. McGarry-Doyle rounds second. Up to third he goes. Gets the stop sign from Andrew White. Baycats have runners on the corners.
Well, that'll feel good for Brandon Hernandez. We weren't sure if he was going to stay in the game after being hit by a pitch in the 6th. But a huge single there and moving a runner into scoring position. And now he represents the tying run.
He does not want to leave this game, and just remarkable resilience to stay in this ball game after what looked like what could have been a pretty serious injury. Pushing through the pain and staying in this ball game, delivering a big hit here. 2 on for the Baycats. Nolan Macabrota now. Bradwell's first pitch. Called strike.
Yeah, lots of velocity on that one. Not even sure if Macabrota was going to be able to catch up to it had he made an attempt.
I didn't get a good look because the
No balls, 1 strike. Mullen sets up outside again. That one actually looked closer than the first one. The count is 1-1.
We don't want the umpiring to become a story, but I'm sure for the Baycats dugout, it's definitely on their mind throughout this game.
Yeah, not in a hard-fought game like this one. They appeal, and he went. Third base umpire Keith Carville at second base, in the second base position with the runners in the corners here, ruling that Macabrota did not check his swing, so it's a 1-2 count. Bradwell to Macabrota with a 1-2 pitch. Fouled away. The at-bat will continue.
Macabrota was late on that one too, so James Bradwell definitely bringing the heat throughout this at-bat. Not shying away from feeding fastballs to the Baycats lefty.
Starting to see a little bit of low-lying fog above the ground in right field. We'll see if that continues to thicken as we head through the game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bradwell deals on the ground weakly along the line, and they will tag out Macabroda. The run will score as Noel McGarry-Doyle comes in for Barrie's third run. So the Baycats traded out for a run. Not a bad move in this situation.
Well, absolutely not. You'll take that any day, and then still only one out in this inning, so lots of opportunity, especially with Ryan Rio coming up with Hernandez in scoring position.
Goes to show you in this game, sometimes you don't have to do a whole lot. That ball not hit hard at all. Just a very weak dribbler on the right side of the infield, but it was enough to get Noel McGarry-Doyle home, and that is exactly what the Baycats needed in that situation. Hernandez to second, one out in the inning. Ryan Rio to the plate now. He could flip this score with one swing. 6 home runs to lead the Baycats a year ago. Swinging out of his shoes. Rio has a way of delivering in these big moments. 1 for 3 tonight.
That's like 4 diamonds away.
Yeah, that's probably over 1,000 feet. I don't think that's
easily.
Bradwell to Rio. Weakly on the ground, almost the same spot as the last one, but that one rolls foul.
With the way that ball was bouncing off the turf, I was concerned, at least for the Baycats' perspective, that ball was going to bounce fair again off the lip, but ends up staying foul. That would have been disastrous for Rio.
Would have moved the runner up, but create a 2-out situation. Willie Garcia is on deck. No balls, 2 strikes now to Ryan Rio. Struck out to end the 4th. Teo Ortega struck out 3 in a row in that 4th inning after Noel McGarry-Doyle singled. The 0-2, fouled away, left side.
A much better piece off of that fastball off Ryan Rio's bat. Still a little late on it because of the Bradwell's velocity, but you can tell Rio's getting a better eye on it.
I see you got the binoculars. Who do you see in that Baycat bullpen right now? Left-hander throwing.
It's still Ethan Morris.
Yeah, that looks like Ethan Morris out there.
It's a 4-3 game. Runner at second. That's Brandon Hernandez. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground. Backhanded nicely by the first baseman. Barrett over to the pitcher covering in time for the out. Runner advances. So again, the Baycats trade a 90 feet of real estate for an out. In this situation, though, it gets Hernandez to third. And a 2-out situation for Garcia.
And that's the nice part about getting 2 on with nobody out. You leave yourself the luxury of being able to use outs and kind of play small ball a little bit, just advance the runners. And the tying run's only 90 feet away, and this man, Willie Garcia, created a run just on his own earlier in this ball game with a 5th inning home run.
Had a big moment with that solo shot in the 5th, and another big moment awaits Garcia here. They need him now. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. 4-3, Jackfish. Runner at third. Pitch from Bradwell. High and away.
Seemed like Garcia was taking all the way on that first pitch. Told me earlier today in pregame that he's been seeing the ball better the last few days.
Another power hitter on deck. That's Tristan Clark. Bradwell's pitch. Called strike. Fans don't like it. Jared Merkley's been calling that all game. For the most part, it's been a pitcher's strike zone. Although we've had a couple of surprises. 1 ball, 1 strike.
More favorable to left-handed or right-handed batters than lefties.
Seems like it. Garcia going the other way. He's trying to spray it down that line. It's a foul ball.
Yeah, just off the end of the bat for him. He's reaching a little bit. Puts him down to his last strike.
Boy, the temperature's really dropped here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. 14 now, went from 20 to 14.
was started out just really humid yesterday, and once the sun got out a little bit today, it was quite hot and really dipped down. You mentioned kind of the low-lying fog, start to feel the moisture in the air a bit more with a cool haze.
Yeah, I was really thankful we didn't have a game last night. That was a hot, muggy afternoon. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Big pitch coming up here from James Bradwell. Bradwell deals. Swing and a foul into the glove for a 3rd strike, and that'll do it. Garcia down, and that will do it for Barrie after scoring a run to make it a 4-3 game. The Jackfish will look for some insurance when they come to bat in the top of the 9th inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you in the summer.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats! Top of the 9th inning, Ben Davy, Julius, Hern, Matty Gale, and the Welland Jackfish on top by a score of 4-3, looking for their 7th straight win to start off the 2025 season. Gio Morello will come to the plate to face Baycat rookie Ethan Morris.
Second appearance for Ethan Morris. First in relief. He started that game we were talking about earlier in Kitchener on Sunday, got the win. 5 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, 7 hits allowed, just 1 earned run. So for an IBL debut, very strong start for him to his career, and he comes in after Christian Lazar really closed the door on the Welland Jackfish the last couple innings.
18-year-old left-hander from Sudbury, played Division I JUCO in Florida, and he can hit 90 to 92.
He's a powerful arm. He is a built pitcher.
Pitched brilliantly against the Kitchener Panthers in his debut on Sunday afternoon, as you mentioned. High leg kick, first offering, and it's a called strike to Gio Morello. 2 singles for Morello tonight. Unable to score, though.
I need a logo up on the...
Lefty-lefty matchup. Kicks and deals. Pitch is low.
Thank you. Perfect.
So the battery of Morris and Johnston making their home debuts as Barrie Baycats here tonight. Fans getting to see a couple of new faces here wearing the throwback Reds. Here's the pitch, fastball, fouled over to the Welland dugout. I think that caromed right off the railing and back out again.
It went off the roof of the dugout. It came right back down. Luckily, it didn't seem like anybody was hit by it, but a rocket off the bat of Morello.
Well, I thought it hit the roof, but I didn't hear a sound. It kind of sounded like more maybe the padding, but either way, it came back in a hurry. 1-2 pitch on the way from Ethan Morris. And it's lifted foul. Four runs, 7 hits for the Jackfish, 3 on 6 for the Baycats. And the crowd behind the rookie here with this 1-2 count. Pitch on the way. Fouled weakly, and it's a foul ball.
Initial reaction there from Morello. He thought that he wasn't going to get the foul ball called, but...
Well, Morris got off that mound in a hurry just to be safe.
Final line for Christian Lazar. 2 1/3 innings, 4 strikeouts, 3 hits, no earned runs, and no walks. So very strong outing for him in his second appearance of the season.
Yeah, that'll help the ERA. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Morris to Morello. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. A strikeout for IMP North. 3 straight Jackfish down swinging, as Lazar got Marchese and Wisner to end the 8th. Morris gets Morello to lead off the 9th.
Each of the last 5 outs by Baycats pitchers have all been by way of the strikeout.
There's some phenomenal pitching by the Baycats these last couple of games in particular. Baycats only have 1 more game this weekend, and that's tomorrow night in London. First pitch strike to Jake Sanford. Sanford tonight 2 for 4. The outfielder's legs starting to disappear on us now with that low-lying fog above the outfield grass. On the ground, first base side foul. So it's an 0-2 count.
Sanford was the one that kind of started that 4-run 6th inning for the Jackfish, led off with a single and later scored.
No balls, 2 strikes. The left-hander kicks and delivers. On the ground, right back to Morris. Makes the throw to first in time for the out. Ethan Morris looks like anything but a rookie out there on the mound here tonight.
Very impressive for his age, and he just looks so composed making that play. You know, a lot of pitchers might panic when they see the ball hit right back to them, whether it's hard or soft like that was, but making that play look easy.
Yeah, you combine the poise that he's showing on the mound along with the velocity with that fastball. Excellent command so far from what we've seen from him. Future looks bright for left-hander Ethan Morris.
Well, I don't think he thought that he was going to be facing a guy coming into this game slugging over 1,000, but that seems to be the case right now with Robert Mullen. It's kind of gone cold in this game.
Mullen hit into a 5-6-3 double play. Swings and misses at the first offering from Morris.
Saw Davy Mendez warming up for the Jackfish in the bullpen. So the Jackfish closer getting ready for his first save situation of the season.
First right-hander for Morris here in this 9th inning. 2 out. Here's the pitch. Pop foul. Another 0-2 count. Morris attacking the strike zone, coming right after these Jackfish hitters. Not nibbling around the plate at all. Ahead in the count for the 3rd straight batter. And the fans are with him. here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. 0-2 on the way. They appeal, and he went. Scott Costello ringing him up, and 2 strikeouts in the inning. A 3-up, 3-down ninth for Ethan Morris. And he gets some handshakes and some pats on the back as he heads off the field. 3 outs left for the Baycats as they look to overcome a 4-3 deficit here against the Welland Jackfish. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Friends from Ford Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Nothing to play brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
Well, here we go. The Barrie Baycats, 3 outs to try to put Welland's perfect 6-0 record to an end. And they will send up Tristan Clark, Adam Ahn, and Andrew Johnston to face right-handed closer Davy Mendez.
Davy Mendez, single season saves leader a couple seasons ago, the all-time IBL record for a single season, and first save situation for him this year. He's had 3 appearances, an inning each, yet to allow an earned run.
High fastball misses to Tristan Clark. Bradwell pitched very well for Welland here tonight in relief. Call strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
2 hits, 2 strikeouts for Bradwell, and 2 in a third innings. Nice to see him get some more innings. Jackfish trying to stretch him out more and for him to become a starter later on.
And what a job by starter Teo Ortega tonight for the Welland Jackfish. 25-year-old from Panama was outstanding. Count is 1-2 to Tristan Clark. Clark tonight 0 for 2 was hit by a pitch in the 7th. Davy Mendez, a fan favorite in Welland for good reason. Here's the pitch, outside, and Clark lays off.
Used to blow people away in this league with his fastball, and it seems like hitters in the league ever since his rookie year seem to catch up to it. They're not nearly as afraid of it. 12 saves last year for the Jackfish, single season record.
Clark hits a high pop-up, shallow center field. Morello sees it, and he's got it. And Clark is retired. Still pretty good visibility for fly balls, even though we've got that low-lying fog. there was the poor air quality and the smog earlier, but that really was only more of a factor before the darkness took over. Here comes Adam Odd to face Davy Mendez. Baycats just 6 hits tonight. Takes the first pitch. It's high and outside.
A save for Mendez tonight would put him into a tie for 3rd all-time in IBL saves with 23.
Swing and a miss. A big rip by Odd. Couldn't connect. 1-1.
Would put him into a tie with Dave Hatch, who last played with the Toronto Maple Leafs. 23 career saves. Currently sitting 4th with 22.
Here's the pitch from Mendez. High and away again. 2-1. Don't forget, Baycats are in London tomorrow night, and that is it for the weekend. But come out here on Saturday for that inaugural 2022U Baycats game here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Get a chance to see the rookies in the Baycats pipeline play against Hamilton's 22U team. Pitches inside. Jackfish off tomorrow, and their next game is against London as well. That's at home, Saturday, 6:05. Alec Murray, Spencer Tanguay, and company will have that for us. 4-3 Welland. 2 outs away from extending their unbeaten streak to 7 to start this 2025 campaign. Here's the pitch from Mendez. Inside ball 4. Adam Odd works a walk.
Adam Odd had to look back to make sure that was actually called a ball without, the questionable calls that we've seen from Jared Merkley today, but that's a huge base runner for Barrie with 1 out.
What a great at bat for the Baycat veteran third baseman tonight. Drawing a walk, keeping this inning alive. Here's the rookie Andrew Johnson now. Came on in relief of Elise Beltran. Francisco Hernandez is on deck.
Johnston looking for his first big moment in a Baycats uniform.
And he hits this one, a line drive to first. And how about that? It's right into the glove of Barrett. He steps on the bag. Adam Odd gets doubled off, and that will do it. The Welland Jackfish improved to a perfect 7-0. And a 4-3 victory over the Barrie Baycats here tonight.
Well, it all unraveled for the Baycats in that 6th inning. Lots of walks from Cesar Rosado ended up costing him, and he'll end up getting the loss in this game despite some fantastic relief pitching to keep this game close for Barrie. A couple big home runs gave Barrie their first couple of runs of this game, but another 1-run loss at home. That'll be the story heading into this one.
4 runs, 7 hits for the Jackfish, 3 runs, 6 hits for the Baycats as they come up a run short, and the Welland Jackfish remain undefeated here in 2025. Thanks so much for joining us on Rogers TV and Baycats TV. For Julius Hern and Matty Gale, I'm Ben Davy. Good night from Springwater Township.
Don't forget the Baycats are right back here at Athletic Kulture.